Can't go live. And finally, finally we're live. All right. Yo, we started to go live just now, and I saw some people on there when I went to check, but YouTube did a thing with us just now where it sent us live and then it says live is not available. Try again later, which required us to start all over again. Me know nobody know I hear problems, but morning thoughts, morning thoughts, morning thoughts. Shout out to the people going out to work this morning. Shout out to the people coming in from work this morning. Extra special big up shout out to the people who work multiple jobs. I have the utmost respect for you. Shout out to my entrepreneurs, my stay-at-home moms and pops, my retirees. Shout out to the drivers. Shout out to the Uber driver, Lyft driver, truck driver, taxi driver, food delivery drivers, round town and long distance truck drivers. Shout out to the crossing guards and the school teachers. Shout out to law enforcement personnel, medical field personnel, military personnel. Whatever your job description is, shout out to you. Shout out to every single clean-hearted, good-hearted person who wants good for others as much as you want good for yourself. You're a good person. Shout out to you. If that is your character, shout out to you. Here we are on this beautiful, what today is? I don't even know. Today is Thursday, July 3rd. Today is Thursday, July 3rd. Today is Thursday, July 3rd. We are here and we are happy to be here, right? Again, I got a monkey on my screen. I got to find out what this is about from YouTube. I've been getting a monkey on my screen for like 2 weeks now, almost 2 weeks now. So if you see me looking this way, that means that the chat is over here on a different screen. And if I look back this way, that means that this is the camera that I'm broadcasting from. All right. We've been forced to use two computers. Usually I would see you on the same screen so I can read the comments while keeping myself this way. But if you see me this way, I got to go on. All right. Oh, man. There's so much to be happy about, to be thankful for. I'm feeling good. Hope everybody out there is feeling the same. Yesterday was my little man's birthday. Kai Kai turned 7 years old. Shout out to all the people who wished him a happy birthday. I told him we were going to read the comments later on, see how many people wished him happy birthday. And he was like, Daddy, come on, let's read the comments now, last night. And I said, let's wait till tomorrow morning. He's still asleep now. So when he wakes up, he's going to get to read the comments that all the happy birthdays that you sent in. I appreciate it greatly from all the people who did send in a happy birthday for him. All right. Big up on yourself and thank you for that. I start take offense to the monkey thing that where YouTube I got along with, you know. Yeah, Audrey, the monkey just sit down on the screen right there, so my friend. You know, I mean, if they're having issues, they could use something else, but I don't know. And the fact that I keep getting the monkey, that's the problem. Everybody else, it's not everybody getting the monkey. I keep getting the monkey. But that's some juicing thing these days. I'm trying to slim it down and keep it healthy more than anything else. Not even so worried about the slim it down no more. Just keep it healthy. You know what I mean? Yesterday I spent a great deal of time juicing watermelon and ginger, and then juicing carrots. Some organic carrots, some organic watermelon and ginger, and them thing there. I'm gonna go work out this morning and come back and feel tired already. Feel like me need a cup of wake me up right now. So the sugar in the watermelon should do the trick. No, like tastes good, you see? Ah, tastes like somebody daughter must breed again. That would be a good thing. Let's shout out some people in here and we get into our topics this morning. So, shout out to the first one tuning in, Rosalind Smichael. Big up yourself. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you greatly, Miss Goldie Robinson. Audrey is right there. Audrey, right. Big up yourself every time. King Biggs, morning fam. Lil Ray Gucci is in the building with us this morning. Glad to see you. Hope all is well. BM, thank you for being here. Thank you for being her. Thank you for being here. Mervyn the Point, Jamaica Kurt, thank you for being here as well. Sharon Spence is here with us this morning. Thank you for being here, Nisha. Nisha, big up yourself. Millicent Townsend, Onika St. John is also here. Thank you for being here as well. Mistress 8 talks health and wellness with a twist. Good morning to you and thank you for being here as well. I got to check that out and see what that is. Mistress 8 talks health and wellness without a twist. Kind of self-explanatory, but is it an established channel? I'll see. Grace James, thank you for being here. The Buffalo sold the rest. Prellis123 is in the building. Says SouFlo and fam. Today I celebrate my 55th birthday. All right. Prellis123 gets one. Ferran, big up yourself. Thank you for being here. Bad Dolly 261. Venetia, Black Grove, McLean. Thank you for being here. Let me see who else is here this morning. Shirley and Ellen, thank you for being here. Good morning to everyone here. We made it. This is a new day. We are truly blessed. Absolutely. Because you could have been at somebody's hospital, or you could be, in somebody's morgue and these things. We're neither. We are here and feeling good. Trini LB, big up yourself. Thank you for being here as well. Jazzy Lady, thank you for being here as well. We're going to sing a happy birthday this morning, all right? So here we go. Happy birthday to Prellis123. Did you take it away? Let me see that again. Yeah. Prellis, happy birthday to you. But Prellis, remove the comment, man. So now I'm not sure if it's your birthday. Prellis123 is the... Okay, there you are. Thank you for all the birthday wishes. So, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Prellis123. Happy birthday to you. I'm sure you don't want to be called Prellis123. Maybe just Prellis, but we'll work with what we say. Happy birthday to you. And may you be blessed with many, many more. But we have to give you the busy signal one, because Jerome said we must update the thing and start doing modern things. So, happy birthday, y'all, my friend. One more year upon them. One whole of vibes. Give thanks for life. Next year we're doing it again. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Happy birthday, y'all, my friend. One more year upon them. One whole of vibes. Give thanks for life. Next year we're doing it again. Yeah, man. God in all things, And next year you're doing it again. And the year after that you're doing it again. You're 55 years young and have a lot to be thankful for, I'm pretty sure. And I wish you many, many more happy, healthy birthdays to come. All right? Take care of that health, and everything else will fall right into place as long as you keep God first. Seeing? Prellis is penile. 1, 2, 3. Wait there. Mirror to hear me about Prellis. Should I do this over? so, PG, I appreciate you. You know me, I get all of my eyesight and go. No, I know that. I just always say Prellis. So Penal, why you never corrected me before? You know how much time I call you Prellis123, and you just go along with it? Please correct me. My name is Paula. Okay. P-Niles123, name is Paula. So Paula, you come here like Carthage Empress. Now I will never forget. Because me go down the road, I Prellis me know you as enough. The sentiment is the same. Paula, happy birthday, my friend. All right. Enjoy your birthday, and I wish you many, many more happy, healthy birthdays to come. Like I was saying before, keep God in the midst of all things, secure your health, and everything else will fall into place. Jano. Prellis123. Bridget, for months I've been saying something King Big said. Now, King Big, man, you could have called in. You could have just simply called in and say, say hello, SouFlo. And a Prellis, why you keep on and say Prellis. P-Niles. All right. Now we got it. But her real name is Paula. All right. So Paula, we know you know for sure. See, me figure you know her differently still. No, sir. There, frig up the woman name. Prellis. And Prellis sound like one of them names that you need to get rid of, like retire, right? Like Gertrude. Nobody's naming their daughter Gertrude if she's born in 2020 anything. What some of the names them forget rid of? Prellis would be one. Ja. Morning, family. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Tony Mango, big up yourself. Thank you for being here this morning. King Big, same figure, so I know you differently still. So Me I call you when me know. Gertrude. Gertrude just make you automatically seem like you want to go into an old person character. My granny named Gertrude, you know, so she used to talk. Gertrude, oh, I see that is a N in Nile now. The Buffalo sold the rest. You been saying Prillis too? Paula, we're gonna call her from now on. P Niles 123. Happy birthday again, Paula. Enjoy your birthday to the fullest, my friend. You only get to be 55 once, right? Me not reach this yet, but me close. In a couple more years, in due time. I kind of like the Prillis still, you know. Audrey, when you say Audrey, stick it to her with the Prillis. Because you know how we stay, you know, as Caribbean people, once we give you a name, you know, we find a reason to give you a name different from the name where your parents give you, and then that is your name for life. So, I just laugh when you call me that. You laugh and don't correct me. I you say King Bigs over here or correct me. Ah, Prillis 123. I've been saying it for the longest. That's crazy. I told y'all, listen, real quick. Me did telling about a brother who I used to work with. I'm used to have up the brother, you know, because the two of us are Jamaicans working in this establishment, you know, in a foreign country. I mean, I think so we're bonding and we're brothers and we're cool and everything. Every time the brother come close to me, we have good conversations about growing up in Jamaica and, you know, our love for women and these kind of things. Because really a man who used to always talk about woman and thing, even though when I couldn't. So we have these kinds of conversations. I'm thinking me and the brother cool. Sometime now I go to work and me heal him up. Yo, what go on? No response. I'm like, that's weird. You was just talking to me yesterday, like for hours on end. You know, talk about him whole life story and everything. We are share how much kids we have and you know problems we have in your yard and you know brothers and man start talk. Next day, him see me. Yo, what go on with G? Next day, me see him. Yo, what happened? No response. I'm like, why this brother Monday him talk to me, Tuesday him don't talk, Wednesday him talk to me, Thursday me yell him up, him don't answer. I said, you know what? I'm one of these kind of people. Don't talk to me at all. That way we don't have no uncomfortableness. We just know that we don't speak to each other. I told y'all the story before. One day me heal him up. Yo, what go on? No response. So me walk up to him. Me say, bro, how you talk? You're funny, so. One day you talk, next day you don't talk. Him say, when me see you, I'll never talk to you. Me say, every time I come in the building, like me say, yo, what go on? You just go on like you don't see me. And you look directly at me. So, you know, I mean, I don't know if no funny thing I go on behind the scene. Because, you know, sometimes people chat about you with other people and then them can't heal you up when them see the people them. And he was like, yo, stop. You see my glasses them? And he took off his glasses. He was like, you see my glasses them? You see how them thick? Him said, brother, me can't see. If me put my hand out so right now in front of me, can barely see my hand. Which part you I say hi from? And tell you the truth, I was saying hi from way down the other end of the store. And I kept holding it against him, you know. I'm like, it's a funny ass person. One day I'm talk to you, next day I'm don't talk to you. You know what? Just don't talk to me at all. Poor thing, him couldn't even see me. I'm in there, I hold him personal with it. Because I'm funny. The brother just couldn't see. So yeah, me I call him sometime and all kind of something. One day I say, you know, me confront him about it. Cause me not like funny people. And even though me I try ignore him on some days, him still I try talk to me. After me make up my mind, say me not chat to you no more. Don't speak to me. Let's just keep it at that way we're not uncomfortable. Should I say hi to him today? Should I not say? Is he gonna say hi? Me not have time for them anxiety there for somebody when me not sleep with. See, and through me not in a man like that. Let's just keep it a distance. But write him off already, you know. I say no, I'm confront him about this. Cause me and the brother can't talk so good. And all of a sudden, bro took off his glasses. You're like, you see my glasses? I almost start laughing. Him say, you see my glasses? You see how take my glasses them is? He said, brother, if me put my hand out so in front of me, me can barely see so far, much less. Which party I say hi from me from and me not say hi to you? I say, you know, say true. Because every time I come in, I normally see him. He ran the part of the store that was right at the entrance. But our big part of the store, so there's a distance. So every time I come into the building, me always look over there and see my heal him up, me reach work, yo, what go on? No answer. So that's weird. Yo, so moral of the story is nobody hold nothing against people so quickly. You know what I mean? Sometimes it don't have nothing to do with you, and we take things so personal for no reason. I always use that story there for shed light on this. Sometimes we take things personal for no reason when truly it's not about you. You know, it helps to communicate too, to just go talk to somebody. Like, why one day you say and next day, instead of just hold them up and just me I make sure that me I work towards sabotage this a relationship, so the man don't talk to me no more. So when him I talk sometime, I turn my back game. I'm trying to give him uncomfortableness enough for him to leave me the hell alone. So I'm sure he started going away thinking, I want to him. Why am I act so funny? That's why I said, you know what? Since he still keep coming over, even though I'm giving him all these uncomfortable, cause he's a funny person. You see if I'm around you, you see if you roll your eye 2 times, I'm gone. If you give me any kind of, I'm out of there. You know, happy said nothing to me. I pick up without you saying nothing, and that could be a bad thing too, cause sometimes I pick up what's not even there. You know what I mean? Me used to wonder what me do. Yeah, me have some big Urkel glasses, some fish tank, and I didn't even take that into consideration. Me feel like said through him glasses them so thick, him supposed to have like bionic eyes. Him could have seen everything from anywhere. And the truth of the matter is the glasses them so thick, but him eyesight so bad they barely help him. You know? Chris H, UK tuned in. Big up yourself and thank you for being here. Let me make sure I say your name, cause before me start call you what you're not is. But kuyo too. But kupa you too. Eh? Go for you to I go like you somebody, you know what? Mm. This fresh pressed watermelon is it. Watermelon. This fresh pressed watermelon is it. You used to wonder what me do. Where with it? Where with it? All right, let's get into our topics though. We got a couple of things going on here this morning. Lively discussion. You're gonna decide where we start though, right? Two of them are super lively. The rest of them are just pretty much informational, and we are gonna bounce those around. SouFLo, legally he is blind. Now make me feel bad now, because legally he is blind. And I was holding it against him for the longest, thinking he was just ignoring me or him just sometime-ish. And I don't like sometime-ish people. I'm the kind of person, if I say hi to you today, I'm probably going to say hi to you for the rest of your life, right? So, give you a joke. I go to the gym early in the mornings, right? Get my workout on. I enter the gym. There are some people in there, depending on what's happening on the TV screen. Like it's some older Caucasian people that are in the gym, the kind that have like Trump stickers everywhere. And if they see somebody on the screen, because the gym has like 9 televisions up front, and they play different things on them. And some of them sit down there, watch Fox News, and you will hear stuff like if they show a black man face on the screen and they're like, a shooting took place yesterday in the Orlando area, and they're looking for, you'll hear somebody say, it's always the same kind of people. And I mind my business, I'm lifting and stuff. So you peep them. But these are the same people who talk to you like, hey, how you doing this morning? You all right? Everything's good? All right now. All right. Good to see you. Don't lift all the gym. Leave some of it for me. And I'm like, yeah, got to get it in early. But right beside you, they be watching the screen. Oh, it's always the same kind of people. Mayhem and chaos. And I want to say like, yo, where were you when you didn't see the person before they look like you? That with all the other the one that shot up the whole. So I just make sure so when I go to the gym now, I just don't speak to nobody. I don't say good morning. When them say good morning, me not say good morning, nothing like that. I just walk right past them because I'm trying to establish this. We don't speak. Okay? Just leave it at that. I work out more comfortable knowing that we just don't speak. I don't have to worry if you're gonna say hi this morning. I don't have to worry about hearing your inappropriateness. You know what I mean? We just don't speak. So may I try foster that kind of relationship there right now with me and people in the gym. I'm a really funny person. Don't say no funny stuff around me and then think we're gonna say hi Monday and then not say hi Tuesday until you feel like saying hi Wednesday. We either speak or we don't speak. I'm A or B. That's it. There ain't no in between with me, no nothing else. There is no shades of gray. It's black or it's white, and that's it. Uh, Facts don't lie, people do. Big up yourself. Facts don't lie, people do says, I told you they would find Diddy guilty. Powerful black man. Don't leave Hollywood without a they didn't find him guilty, bro. Okay, so is that where we're gonna start this morning? Facts don't lie, people do. You're off. You're off. But man, I'm gonna reel in everything for you. All right. My prediction was accurate. My prediction said they would find him guilty and not guilty. And then I went in to discuss or to explain what I thought was. And I specifically said they will find him guilty of the lesser charges and the more serious charges he's going to beat. We're going to get into that when we get into the argument. Hey, facts don't lie, people do. You need to pay attention. All right. So clean out your ears this morning and listen, because there's an update to that story. What's going to happen next and what's been happening and all that other stuff. So we have the Diddy trial verdict on the table this morning for discussion. We have Alkaline's most recent interview. It's the interview that he did with Cliff Hughes of Nationwide. That's his first interview in Jamaica in 10 years. For the people them who are 55 and older and only listen to them parents' music, you might not be into this one, but you know, that's Alkaline, the dancehall artist. I know some people are like, who? They drink alkaline water. I mean, I know nobody named Alkaline. I'm talking about Alkaline, the dancehall artist. His interview is stirring up the place as well. So we have that on the table to discuss this morning. Or the government of the United States of America is trying to, in this big, beautiful bill that you keep hearing about, one of the things in there that would affect us, as in people of the diaspora who are from outside of the United States of America, when you send back your little remittance money go home, if you send $50 go give Miss Mary, if you send $100 go give Granny, if you send $200, if you send $5,000 because you have built up your house and whatever, there are new requirements that are in this big, beautiful bill that would affect your remittance to include tax on that money and certain requirements to be able to send money overseas. That affects most of us here, right? We send money, we send barrel, we send, so that definitely affect me and Shakira and a lot more of you out there too. Alligator Alcatraz is now open for business, and we can talk about that also. So those are what we have on the table, including the Airbnb jitters in Jamaica. So where do you want to start? You have 60 seconds to choose. I'm going to sip a little bit more of this fresh pressed watermelon, and you can choose. Is it Diddy? Is it Alkaline? Is it Airbnb? Is it tax on remittance? Or is it Alligator Alcatraz? Come on, man. Okay. I don't want to know a long sentence. I just want to see the... Okay. BM says leave Diddy for last. Damn, taxing everything. Okay. Dorothy T, Diddy. King Biggs, Diddy. Audrey says Alcatraz. Jazzy Lady says Diddy. Looks like it's going to be Diddy. Audrey again says leave Diddy for last. Sharon Spence says Diddy. Y'all scream leave Diddy for last, but the people them must say Diddy. I got 2 taxes. I got 3 Diddies, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Diddies, 9 Diddy, 3 taxes now, 10, 11, 12 Diddies, 4 taxes, one Alligator Alcatraz, another Diddy, taxes. We have 10 seconds to go. Baby Isle, that Baby Isle, Diddy. I got 6 taxes, 13, 14, 15 Diddies, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's watch TV. Big up yourself. Thank you for being here. And we're going to close it out right there because Diddy it is. All right. 60 seconds in and Diddy it is. Sorry, Audrey, we can't leave Diddy for last. The people have said, do Diddy? No. No pun intended. All right. Why? Diddy was found not guilty, right? This means a whole bunch of different things. So let's talk about, just so we clear up with Facts Don't Lie, People Do. Facts Don't Lie, People Do just left another comment while the comment section was wild. It says, Alkaline interview is trash. Let's make it clear for his delusional fans. Name one accomplishment Alkaline have for the past 13 years. Cartel did in less than 1 year, even selling silver, even creating history. But because them choose Diddy, we're going to go to the Diddy first. All right. So, you need to listen. Facts don't lie, people do. Diddy was found guilty on simple charges. The simplest of all the charges. All the serious stuff, like the racketeering and the sex trafficking, those were the charges that carried 30 years per count. And that's why he was looking at the rest of his life in prison. Not only that, what you also need to remember is what the state said. These are not my words. This is what they said. And I told you. The state said their intentions were, if he is found guilty on the RICO, sex trafficking, racketeering, which means he used his business empires, Sean John, Bad Boy Records, the liquor lines. All that wasn't legitimate business. Those were fronts, so he can run some sex business behind the scenes. I call that BS from day one, because if you grew up in that era, you remember when you had to have a piece of Sean John clothing on. That wasn't no front. That was legitimate, real business being done at a high success level. Bad Boy Records, all them damn artists that came out of Bad Boy, the world tour, all these things, that couldn't have been any front, right? Anyways, what I'm happy for is this. I saw that as their way to strip a black man of everything that he has earned legitimately, so that he would not be able to pass on wealth and therefore creating generational wealth, right? So I'm glad that that didn't happen. They said that their intentions were to take everything he has. And their words were both business and personal. All his bank accounts, both business and personal, all his assets, all his mansion, all his assets include all his mansions, his private, they listed it, his mansions, his private jets, his private jet, his he got a bunch of other stuff. Them list out everything, like they were salivating already over all the things they were going to take from him if he had gotten found guilty on all of those. When you see him hit the floor in the courtroom and buried his face in that chair, oh, he dodged a bullet. He dodged a 12-gauge shotgun bullet slug close up. He dodged a bullet, because for everybody else, it would have been just guilty or not guilty. For him, it would have been everything he has worked for since leaving college and jumping into the music world to what he has now, just gone. Didn't happen. The lesser charges that are there. So I'm reading through the charges and I realized this was a RICO charge and the guy had 2 victims, or 2 alleged victims. 2 victims are the 2 women who he had relationship with that lasted years. Cassie, almost 11 years. And Cassie wasn't a secret. Cassie walked the red carpet with him, Met Gala, all the other big events. The world knows that Cassie was his woman, right? How do you go from having a relationship that lasts that long to being charged for exploitation and coercion and sex trafficking and all this other stuff for this person? Obviously, this person was trying to please her partner and did some stuff that she now finds unsavory. I hate to say this, but I don't give a damn who wants to feel what way, because the jury already decided in my favor, so I'm good. I wish Diddy never paid Cassie that $20 million. I wish he didn't pay her that $20 million. The jury decided that Cassie was never trafficked. That's why he beat the trafficking charge. Jane also was never trafficked. That's why they beat the trafficking charge. You need to go look up what trafficking is versus what transportation for or to engage in is. It's two completely different charges. None of them were trafficked. This is the jury that found that none of them were trafficked, and he beat that. I was telling that to my audience the other day, and some guy kept saying in the comment section, you don't know what I talk about, because the trafficking is not for the girls them. The trafficking is for the man them, who the escorts, male escorts, they would use to engage in these activities. I hate arguing with people who just won't take the time to read. If I know I didn't read something and I know that you are well read through it, I will not argue with you. I will go read first and then come back and argue if I find what you were saying didn't make any sense. So, going through the case again, he only had 2 victims, or alleged victims, or perceived victims. That was Cassie and Jane. Cassie, I wish Diddy didn't pay her, but he did. She tried to blackmail him, and that's how that started. And it's funny how nobody talks about that. Hey, I wrote a book, and it's a tell-all book, and I'm going to expose everything that we did. Or you can give me, actually, I think she started out with, she wanted 30 million. And Diddy said, oh, hell no. Listen, publish your damn book. I'm not giving you no damn $30 million. Well, you know what the end of that result was, right? She ended up getting 20, plus she got 10 from the hotel, made that 30. The jury asked for, when the jury was asking for to see stuff again and for the judge to explain again, one of the main things that the jury asked for was for them to look at the video footage in that hotel again. And I said, damn, he is royally, if that's what they're asking for. But reading this morning, what came with it, they not only asked for the footage, they asked for a printout of the testimony of Cassie's account of what happened and what that fight in the, or her getting beat up and dragged in the hotel hallway was about. That saved him. Her own testimony saved him from getting a trafficking charge. Let me explain that to you now. Put in proper context, right? When she was trying to leave, he came running down the hallway in that video. Y'all saw that? Okay. Many people were of the perception that that video is going to sink him, because that video shows him forcing her to participate in a freak-off. That's why they asked for her testimony. Her testimony, her own words, said that video that you see, that was after a freak-off had happened and she was leaving. Everybody was high and drunk and whatever, and we had been on a binge, and we had one of those freak-offs. They asked her why in her testimony. Okay, so this was after the freak-off. Okay, who initiated that freak-off? She said she did. She told him, and they have the text messages, let's do a freak-off this weekend. She's the one who initiated it. She's the one who got the guys to be there, set it up, everything. They asked her why she did that. And she said because she had some event coming up that she thought was like the biggest thing in her career so far, and she didn't want to miss it. So she knows that if she gives him what he wants ahead of time, she can get what she wants, right? So give him a freak off, let him have himself fun, and then boom, I skate off to this event. But when that freak off was finished, we were arguing, or he started talking hard because he was planning other things. And I was like, but I got this thing to go to. And once I told him I got this thing to go to, I realized that he was escalating and I wanted to leave because before it got physical. Because I'm thinking if we arguing this hard, it's going to get physical. I don't want to get bruises on me and then I go to this event with bruises and stuff. So I left. And that's when you seen him come chasing me down the hallway or whatever. He actually fell asleep and I tried to leave. And then he woke up and realized I wasn't there and he came chasing down the hallway. So the fact that he did not, it wasn't him dragging her back to the room. Get your ass back in this freak off. You gonna fuck till I say stop. Yeah, that he would have got charged with trafficking for. The only thing he got charged with was transportation to engage. 2 counts of those. Everything else, he beat it. I went and looked up in the law, trafficking, 2 counts of, I went and looked up in the law, and transportation to engage. Transportation to engage is kind of like me. My language is going to be a little bit not too clean. Transportation to engage basically mean I could take you and say, yo, man, I drive you go over so go get you some sex. And then, over there, I'll pay for it and y'all gonna have some sex. And I transported you there. That's what it means. So transportation to engage in prostitution is exactly what it sounds like, is exactly what it means. It carries a maximum sentence of 10 years. He has 2 counts of those. If the judge maxed him out on these, it would be 20 years he would be looking at. But here's the thing. I also kept reading. In the law book, it says, if you have no priors and your record is clean, then people who get this charge, they normally do 30 to 60 days in a county jail. That's what they normally do. So he's not a person who this is his MO. He always getting caught doing this. This is his first time, right? Now this is going to come down to Judge Subramanian and how he wants to leverage what's coming down. The average person who gets hit with transportation to engage in prostitution, meaning you're either bringing yourself or taking somebody there to go have sex from somebody you paying for the sex, it's 30 to 60 days in a county jail. That's it. So everybody who you hear saying, including the prosecution, who is like, we're going to ask the judge to give him the max, which is 10 years per count. So he's still looking at 20 years behind bars and all that. That shit ain't going to happen. He's not getting no 20 years for that. I'm thinking, and this was the rest of my prediction now, which I'm waiting to come through. I'm thinking this is going to end with what I said before. I can't take it back. It's already recorded. I said, I think he's going to end with time served and probation. Time served and probation and whatever stipulations goes with that probation. And the reason why I said that is because that guy, Brian Steele, this is his field. This is where he plays the hardest at. He is the best in the U.S. for this. If you look at Young Thug's case, and everybody was like, oh man, he's facing 60 years minimum mandatory. He's going to be gone forever. He ain't coming out. His career is over. You saw what happened when it ended, right? What happened when it ended? Time served, 15 years of probation. I know a lot of people are like, damn, 15 years. But guess what? He got his client out. 15 years of probation, and he had to leave the city. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
Morning, boss.
Morning, bro. What's going on?
Well, I said, well, yesterday morning, I check my phone to see if life are going and not get no update. Is
it? Yeah.
I couldn't wait for you come on, hombre.
See it.
You see me?
What's about this?
Remember, last week, me call him and me agree with say they might find him not guilty, see? But if they do find him guilty, it's going to be on the transportation to prostitution. See, because I don't know, say, a logic we leave, you know, we don't leave with emotion, you know, bro.
See it.
That's how we don't deal with emotion. A logics are reasoning we deal with.
See it. Some reasoning with some intelligence, bro.
Because we also, the prosecution did not prove them case beyond a reasonable doubt.
Correct.
See?
Correct.
All of them are talking about was not what he was charged with.
Right.
See? The only reason why them find him guilty upon the transportation and prostitution stuff is because it's in the law book and juries were instructed to follow the law.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why him even find guilty with that. Because people are doing it, that's an everyday thing for people. See?
Exactly.
That's an everyday thing.
That's like you and your girl and you say to her, say, yo, we're gonna have a threesome and so wait over something with. So you're gonna carry her, go over so and we're gonna run the threesome. Right, and then you have to go give the boy or the girl a little money for cause she did that for fear transportation and fear time. You know, say the same exact thing that, right?
The same thing. So no, this open the door now for all these NBA players and football players. You have fly out Instagram model and everything there. You see it?
Yes,
it's a wide open door for them now if you go file claim and lawsuit number. You see it?
Yeah.
Because this is an everyday occurrence. So this is on the law book. They can use it whenever they want, for whoever they want. You see?
Yeah.
And this is what was applied in this case.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
True.
So now that you say you read further and you saw where this kind of charge now, the jail time where come with it.
Yeah.
If this judge is not a vindictive person,
exactly.
I agree with him about get it with time served.
Yeah.
But them just holding back now because them in them feelings.
Right. So to update everybody on what's going on, yesterday after that verdict was read, his defense team immediately put in a $1 million bail so he could leave jail immediately and go be with his family. And Judge Subramanian again ruled against and shut that down. But I said, if they rejected 50 million, remember, I know Puffy put up $50 million cash plus 2 mansions, one of which is worth 52 point something million dollars, and they still rejected that. So you think they're gonna take 1 million right now? They're not, and I knew they weren't gonna do it either. So I'm gonna go stew a little bit longer which part him there.
Yeah, man, but them are lead them, you know, them feelings down because what a black man beat them case.
Right. You beat the feds.
That is why. That is why. So when they hit him and try to make a plea, make him do a plea deal, I was wondering if these charges were so serious and they want to give him the maximum all of this. Why offer him a plea so quick, so early on in the case?
And you know?
See?
Yeah. I remember when him said, remember when he made it public that he rejected the plea, you see how everybody was like, okay, well, he going down for life then, because this is the feds and they don't miss, and right? Yeah.
Well, my 2 cents, that's what bless up yourself.
Well, all right, bro.
I logic to deal with you,
you see it. Reasoning with intelligence, friend. Bless up.
All right.
Yeah. So yeah, they rejected his $1 million thing yesterday in order to get bail. Because he wanted to be out. Of course, I would want to be out. My team wants me out. My family wants me out. But it's all good. Judge Subramanian now could be, and if you check my other channel, which is SouFLoTV on YouTube, you will see that I actually did a background on Judge Subramanian. The background check talks about his South Asian community upbringing. He is South Asian, and how they see black people, especially African American blacks, they're super biased towards them. They're the ones. There's a documentary out actually about the younger generation of their people who are trying to change that, but they admit that they're raised being told that these are people who are lazy, they are criminals, They only like when they get things easy. The reason why you go to America and become more successful than them is because they just don't want to work for anything. That is their general perception in the community from which Judge Subramanian comes from. Specifically pointed out in this trial, I'm going to say it again. When Cassie's friend testified that Diddy held her over the balcony, clutching pearls, all the drawers. Is he that dangerous of a guy? She was never supposed to testify that in court. Defense and prosecution met previously, according to Diddy's lawyers. We met with the prosecution prior to this. They gave us this piece of information that they were going to allow her to testify in court, and this is what she has to say, right? By the way, constitutionally, it says that whatever evidence is being used against you at trial, that evidence needs to also be shared with your defense so that you can mount a proper defense against this and not be blindsided in court. So they shared it under those conditions. We offered proof to them that our client, Diddy, was nowhere near Los Angeles when this person is saying he was there and this is what he did. Here is our proof. The hotel records, the surveillance system from the hotel, blah, blah, blah. So it's established that it never happened. Next time they went into court, they called the same person up to the stand again. And she testified the same exact thing that they went over. That's when his team had called for a mistrial. On what grounds? On this grounds right here. They should have never put her up there because now the jury pool is tainted, thinking that this happened for real when we already proved to you before you even took it up there, it could not have happened. The Judge Subramanian, no, he couldn't do anything with that, right? He said, okay, I'm not going to strike it as a mistrial, but we're just going to strike that from, so just act like that testimony never happened. Strike that from the record. In other words, strike that from the minds of the jury members who heard that already. And his team, Diddy's team, was like, that's some bullshit. You can't strike that. They heard that already. Him hanging a woman over the balcony. The judge could have very well said, if y'all met two professional teams and you ironed this out, why did you allow her to go up there? Prosecution said it was a mistake. We forgot. I called it a trick, a deliberate attempt. The judge didn't see it like that. I said, this judge, I'm going to go look up his background from here on out because this was the second mistrial that Diddy's team had put in. And he rejected both of them. I said, okay, he definitely wants this to go all the way. So I went and looked up his background, not only where he's from, culturally, how he was brought up and all that other stuff. I went and also looked up who he worked for and how he got to where he is at. He spent the latter part of his career before being elected. He is the first of his kind, South Asian, the first of his kind to hold the position that he has now. That's for one. The person he worked for before is a Caucasian judge who is known to be super right-winged. Super right-winged. And I'm thinking if you worked under that guy for how many years like he did, you probably embodied some of his ideology, or otherwise you wouldn't be a good fit for, and that's where he left from to gain the position that he did. So I'm like, yo, I'm putting, thinking outside the box, not just the regular stuff that everybody else look at. And I'm like, I could see it coming. I could see it coming. He's trying to grant everything he could grant to the prosecution to help them. When, mind you, a judge is supposed to be really impartial. A judge judges what's going on and make sure everything is done by the books. It's down to the prosecution and the defense and the jury ultimately. The next one he did that got me, 7 weeks into the trial, the prosecution picks out the only guy who they think might definitely be a problem. He's a black man. He's 41 years old. His favorite music is hip hop from the 90s era. That's Diddy's era. And he was born and raised in the Bronx. Ain't too far from Harlem. We don't like him. We want him removed, Judge. This is right before they go into closing arguments. And he's been there the whole time. We want him removed, Judge. The judge says why. They said, yeah, because he is not answering the question straight up about where he lives. So we think if he's lying about that, then he could be lying about many other things too. The guy basically told them when the trial started, he was living in the Bronx with his woman. They got a house, I believe, out in is it Connecticut or Queens? Somebody correct me if you know the true details. But they moved out of the Bronx. So, but he still has his job in the Bronx. So he now stays at his auntie's house while he is working because he has this jury duty thing to do, and it's also here. So why travel all that way? So now, even though before I told you I was living with my woman in the Bronx, we have since moved. They act like they didn't understand that and it was so complicated. The man said, because I'm working out here, my job is out here, so I stay with my auntie at her hotel, at her apartment while I'm here, and for this jury duty thing too, so I don't have to do a lot of traveling. Nah, it's too confusing, and he is just not being straightforward. Judge, can we remove him and replace him with an alternate juror? The judge said yes. There was no more testimonies to give. 34 people had already testified on behalf of the prosecution. And he sat there through all of that and got thrown off the last minute. I'm looking at this judge, I'm like, yeah, this judge is definitely biased as hell, and he is definitely trying to get the prosecution to win this case. Who they replaced them with? A Caucasian man from the suburbs who was born and raised in the suburbs, who has outside of or upstate New York, who has I looked up the area that he comes from, and in the video that I did then when I looked it up because I had the stats in front of me, the area he comes from is 60% Caucasian. Has been that way forever. Is it 12 or 10.2% black, and then they have others. He's an engineer with a master's degree, married with children. He's not into hip hop. I was like, damn. The judge was definitely staring and trying to help any which way he can, right? And for it to be against Diddy's favor. So he did all that. I'm not surprised he didn't say, okay, we'll take the $1 million and he could go out on bail until sentencing. Sentencing is not till August, right? We're in July now. Today is the 3rd of July. So he has another month to go before he hears what. But they will have a meeting in July. Another meeting. Don't know when yet, but it's scheduled for, I believe, 2 weeks from now. In July, where they will have another meeting. I guess at this meeting, they could say, hey, we're pitching another attempt at bail here before the sentencing. And he can again say, yeah, because, you know, what I'm going to sentence him to anyways is we've worked this out. We've agreed it's a probation thing. And it was his first time being charged for something like this. So jail time already served, blah, blah, blah. let's let him go on probation. Or the judge could hardline this and say, let him wait. Let him wait until August. It's not going to hurt him to sit a few more weeks in there till August. Then when August comes around, the judge can actually be like, the maximum on these two is 10 years, but I'm going to sentence you to 3 to 5 years. Well, he could still sentence him to some time. It's October 3rd, Lil Red Gucci. Thank you. I appreciate that. So he could still sentence him to some time. It's up to the judge's discretion at this point. But like I said, usually, this is not me saying it. It actually says usually someone who with a clean record who is first time charged for this, they normally do 30 to 60 days in a county jail. It's not a years behind bars thing. You have to be really flagrant at being charged with transportation to engage in prostitution. Like, okay, this is your third, fourth, fifth, sixth time we're catching you doing this, running you through the court system. You know what? You need to learn a lesson. 5 to 10, something like that. He doesn't fall under that category. Facts don't lie, people do says, if them say them want everything, them are gonna give him the Lil Wayne treatment, who turned his masters over to UMI after the feds them hold him give everything. Them said this with the Super Bowl in his town. They can't. Diddy is safe. That's the thing. He is safe. His wealth is safe. His millions are safe. His business is safe. Just to let you know, his private jet alone was gaining millions of dollars in revenue by being rented out to people who have money while he was going through this trial. So if you really want to look at it like this, just the rental of the and a lot of people did not know that it was his private jet, but it was earning. Just go and look up how much the private jet was earning while he was incarcerated fighting this. So if you want to look at it like this, then the private jet fees that, and remember, he owns that jet outright. So the private jet fees, they're probably just what pay for his legal troubles, and the rest of his money is not touched. You know, he's good. The Buffalo Soldier says hopefully they can file a complaint on this judge's actions, removing a juror who obviously was already chosen and served for weeks. So why do they personally need to show where he lives? Exactly. So when I see Job Subramanian moving funny like that, remember, that was the last one. I already clocked him when he allowed that trial to continue after the prosecution tried to pull that trick by having that girl testify about how she got hung over the balcony in California, and Diddy's team already proved that there was no damn his lawyer said unless he could be in two places at once, impossible. And they still allowed that testimony to go. That's actually a trick that's used. Like they will throw it out there and then they'll say, okay, Your Honor, okay, we take it back. But they know that once the jury, like for you right now, if I say to all of you that's watching right now, eat shit. Okay, I never said that. Can you forget that I just said what I just said? So the judge turns to the jury and goes, forget you heard that. And then we'll strike that from the record. They already heard it. And they're already looking at him funny. Like, damn, he hanging people over balconies, breaking in houses, firebombing porches, threatening to kill people. This is a dangerous man. Oh, don't forget the Audrey said, don't forget the Andai part. You been there, sit down, got dead. Jamaicans, each thing died. Oh man, hold up. He's using the defense words of saying he anger issues to not grant his bail. Hopefully he don't give the maximum. Yeah, if he gives the maximum, it's a win-lose for real for Diddy. And let's talk about it, right? Let's talk about the worst case scenario. The worst case scenario, if Diddy gets 10 years for this and 10 years on each count and gets sentenced to 20 years for this, if he even gets sentenced to 5 to 10 years for this, he'll be the first person to ever be a first-time offender charged with this particular crime, so to speak, and is sentenced to so much. It will only show the world that there was definitely an agenda there, for sure, because really he is already way past served what majority of people who are charged with this normally get as first or even second time offenders. But we'll see. Now it's in the judge's hands. Now Cassie is saying, well, her lawyers put out a statement saying she is she's in fear for her life. She fears for her life, so please don't let him out. And I'm thinking to myself, you were fine all along, all these years. You even tried to bribe the man. I wouldn't try to bribe somebody who makes me fear for my life. I would try to keep a low profile for that person. I would try to be on their best side. She fears for her life, so please do not let him out. Man, listen. Personally, I think Cassie should just take her money and skate off into the sunset with her money. This is what I really wanted to say, though. I personally think that Cassie went so hard with this because, for one, she was rejected. She said it throughout the trial that she always wanted more from Sean, which is Diddy. She wanted to be his woman. She wanted to have children with him. She was hoping for marriage and everything. And I even use that part to say to ladies out here, like, if a guy has you giving him threesomes and having other guys ravage you while he watches, don't expect for him to say he wants you to be his number one, his wife, the woman he wants to walk down the aisle, take vows, and spend the rest of his life with. You are definitely his freaky hoe. You are definitely the one who get it cracking for him and his fantasies are fulfilled in that way, but you have to accept that role. Cassie apparently didn't accept that role, right? She wanted to be wife. She said it in her testimonies. She wanted so much more. Seeing him move on with others and go public with them and treat them how he treated them, it made her bitter. Okay. There's a part in her mind that says, I have to justify this from my husband because he now knows the details. Like, he now knows the details. You think Cassie's husband is not looking at her sometimes and saying, okay, after hearing all these, everything that came out in court, I can't help but to think, why would you do all that? Why would you do all that? The only way to fix that is this. I was a victim. I was forced. I was coerced. It was all against my will. I'm not that kind of person, really. I'm who you have as a wife today. I'm a good girl. I only wanted one man. But that one man I wanted took me and turned me into a yamhead. So she got to play that role for her husband she got now. This is their third baby together. I'm sure she ain't trying to run away or try to run him away so she could be a single mom with 3 kids. And I'm sure she don't want him looking at her like, damn, you like got ran through. It, like ran through. And you were on what? Ketamine, this dope, that dope, this drugs. You did the whole medicine cabinet. And you were doing like multiple guys in a night and all these other, oh my God. She has to be the victim. So now he could hug her and feel good. Like, my baby, I saved her. You know, she's such a good girl. That man really took advantage of her. Because it hurts more hearing this. Yeah, I did all those things because I wanted to. I did all those things because I was enjoying it. Yes, there's a part of me that enjoys having 3 guys in one night. How you look at your husband and say that? Yes, there is a part of me that enjoys having 3 guys in one night. Look at your husband and say that. I don't give a damn if that's your deepest fantasy and you have had the most fulfilling sex ever in your life. You will not look at your partner and say that. I'm saying I was forced. I was coerced. I was drugged. I was out of my mind. It was against my will, but it happened. Makes the pill kind of easier to swallow. So if I was Cassie, man, I would just take my damn $30 million, skate off into the sunset, and don't say nothing more. Don't say another damn thing. Right? Cassie is a succubus, fam. No sag. Cassie did that willingly. There, you know what's crazy though? There are other girls from the girl groups who are around. Some of them are right now sad. Some of them right now are stranded on drugs, and they're doing interviews. I saw one of them. She was like, when I heard Cassie, she said, when I heard Cassie was about to testify against Diddy, it blew my mind because I was like, what? Against or for? And the interviewer said against. And she was like, about what? Cassie was around us. We were the girls who were there before she came. And when she came, she fell right into our group. We were the party girls. We like to party. She was like, I'm not going to hide nothing. That's why I have my problem now. We like to party a lot, you know, powder your nose, have a lot of fun. And Cassie fit right in. Cassie would give any guy and every guy in the room a lap dance. I don't know if some of y'all seen that interview. She was like, Cassie was that kind of girl. She's the life of the party. She would give any and every guy in the room a lap dance. She's that kind of girl. When she comes around, the first thing she used to ask is, who got it? Let's go do some, you know what I'm saying, and get high and whatnot. So how did it go from that to I was coerced and I was forced? But hey, and then let's talk about 50 Cent's baby mama. 50 Cent's baby mama, the lawyer who is representing her now, just in case they want to turn anything around on you, you have an attorney who will back you up and fight for your rights, and he knows the law. That attorney was being paid for by Diddy while she was testifying on behalf of the prosecution against him. And she was trying to help the state to prove their case that she was trafficked. The house she lives in now, he's paying for it. I think it's like $40,000 a month or something. It's in a gated exclusive community. And she gets a $10,000 a month. And she is like, that's just for my spending. That's just for my spending because all my bills are paid. He pays for everything. And you in here testifying? Your ass would be homeless if it was me. You would be homeless immediately if it was me. So now that he was found not guilty of trafficking her either, which tells you that they all voluntarily went, because they all knew what they were going for. The only thing Diddy is wrong with is transporting them to go do it. Get your ass out my house. This is my house now. Unfortunately, you can't evict somebody just like that. I don't know if a lot of people know it because they were in a relationship and the relationship has been going on 3 years. So when 50 Cent said, "You little sex worker, you," I thought he was making a joke. Then go look up 50's old tweets. He said, "You little sex worker," his Instagram post, "You little sex worker, you." He said something about, "I moved out to New York, I moved back out here, and next thing I know, me and you was good, and I moved back out here, and now we got problems because you getting money from Brother Love." So it was while she was seeing 50 and being the mother of his child, she was sneaking off to go do these activities for Diddy. That would make any man bitter. I always wondered why 50 went so rough when it came to Diddy, right? Always clowning him. I thought it was in the brutal business world, when you're gunning for the top position as king, it's all bets are off. And I thought he just wanted to be that guy, the number one in the music and entertainment in our genre. I didn't know I did pum pum feelings and did I carry, because your baby mother, who of course you used to be so in love with. If y'all just go look up, Google these pictures and look, 50 was very much in love with that same woman, and she skated off to go be Diddy's hoe. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
SouFLo, big up yourself,
Manners and respect, bro. I go on.
There. Life very precious, SouFLo, because, he's a football watcher and a popular footballer pass off early this morning, So I'm just want to tell people, say, just live life and make amends with family members and friends, and, just take everything one step at a time,
Indeed.
They did the thing SouFLo. One thing we can say, he's guilty of being a freak, for the most part, because...
Wait there. Which popular football player pass off?
Diego Jota play for Liverpool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So in terms of the Diddy thing, right? I mean, listen, every human being, male, female, freak, right? It's just that a lot of us, our stuff are behind closed doors, right? So a lot of people don't know the heights of what freakiness some individuals are going through. But due to the fact that this was a criminal case and it was in court, and we hear the heights of freakiness that this man was going on with
details
them and stuff.
Yeah.
The man probably would have gone as far as Afghanistan and all the places to get hard to be freaky, But anyways,
you know what though? Those details that were revealed in it wasn't freaky to freaks out here. That was lightweight. That was regular stuff. That was okay. So, he loves baby oil. Everybody is oily. I mean, where's the big?
But other than the baby oil itself,
it was
the details of the sex workers, etc. Right? That itself, that is kind of extreme,
Yes, indeed, it is. Watching the next man pipe down your woman, and then multiple men after
and then she must have wiped something upon him and all them type of thing that from a next man. That is, I don't think that is freaky. That is something else.
Yeah,
a different order, right?
Yeah.
But when I was looking at the charges that he would have faced, right? I was like, it's kind of difficult. I think they wanted to catch him on the RICO more than anything else.
And they didn't.
Yeah, they didn't. I think the RICO one was the more damning one if they would have found him guilty on that, right? Because
yes.
You have to kind of look at it. Oh, is this a criminal organization?
A criminal enterprise.
Yeah.
I
know the whole blow up of the vehicle with what is the name?
Kid Cudi.
Cudi and all these different type of things. So if all of those things like correlated to an extent where the jury see it as, you know what, he's guilty on this, then it would have been a RICO to some degree, right? Where he got found guilty on a lesser charge. But Diddy has to be, he must be considered as a lucky bastard, SouFLo.
For the fact that he's a black man that went in there and came out and missed that big charge, yes, he had to be considered, because it could go anyway. It could go anyway, and the jury could have been, and I said this before, the jury members could have been biased in their own right. This is risky, you know, because you don't know how these jury members are raised. And when they say jury of your peers, it's never necessarily a jury of your peers. You have one or two black persons in there. One of them might be raised the way you were raised in the environment you come from and can relate to you. The other 11 people are from outside of your community, outside of your culture. They don't like you, first of all. So if all these little things didn't line up properly for him, forget the evidence and the 67 pages of instruction that the judge said they had to follow. If they don't like you, they will go in there and act like they're reading through 67 pages, and no matter what they read, they would have said, yeah, he guilty of that. He guilty of this too, and he's guilty of this too. So he's lucky.
You think, you know, when what's his name again? The famous comedian actor, Bill Cosby, right? You remember when Harvey Weinstein and Bill Cosby and all those guys got locked up, right? It was around the time of the Me Too movement, when it was around its strongest point, right? You feel as if there was a climate of the Me Too movement when it just came out, it would have been a different outcome for Diddy?
Not if he got the same jury that he got. I must commend that jury. Yeah. Audrey just said it exactly what it was. Diddy is lucky because he got a jury pool who actually separated their emotions and actually went into the 67 pages of instructions and followed according to the law. They don't do that all the time. Enough time, you see, when remember, I know the jury want to go home to them family, you know, and every day they're in here and have to be here, and you're talking about listening to 34 different versions of the same raw story. After a while, you're like, okay, man, I heard enough of this. When is this going to come to an end? You bored out your mind, right? And then get 67 pages of instructions to follow that. You're like, let me go home. Guilty. They come up with the fastest thing. You know,
I think the emotion part is the most important part, because, example, if we can bring up Vybz Kartel, for example, right? I can guarantee you, if you would have selected some Jamaicans, in which they did find him guilty, but I don't know the reason as to why the jurors would have said guilty in his case, right? But in certain other scenarios, you have Jamaicans who publicly express their dislike and disdain for Vybz Kartel, right?
Okay, so, hold on real quick. I can't make you go any further without letting the public know this. I know this is old information, but don't forget what you're about to say. Just let me say this. In Vybz Kartel's case, right, there was a juror who was upstairs on the jury while his case was going on, being tried, and her husband is a high-ranking police officer, was in the same building downstairs. And when they took breaks, she would go downstairs to meet with her husband and then go back upstairs. And he wasn't no fan of Kartel. So, I mean, do with that as you wish. But that whole case that did frig up anyway. But yeah.
So I'm saying, we know people in everyday life who show like the dislike publicly for Vybz Kartel, right? Or in private conversations, right?
Right.
And if it was a different, if you would have selected those individuals, right? Due to the mere fact that they dislike his music and dislike the person that he is, no matter if you put evidence in front of them and tell them, say, yo, and the evidence shows that he's not guilty, enough of them will just vote guilty.
That's exactly my point.
Because of having
exactly my point.
Dislike and feeling for the artist, you know?
Yes. So you said you said he's guilty, and I said yeah, not guilty. Sorry, you said he is lucky, and I said yes.
Yeah. And you know, in a place like America, for a black man to kind of get away and the lesser charges like that, because I don't think he will serve prison time, to be honest. I don't think there'll be any prison time, you know.
I don't think so either, but we'll see. Because this judge, this judge, man, I don't know. I pointed to a couple of things already that proves to me that this judge is super biased. So I don't know. We'll have to see what sentencing says.
But looking at all these historic cases in America, right, especially in the 21st century, you should be considered as a very, very lucky individual, right? And I heard individuals saying if people will still work with Diddy, and I think going forward, people will still work with him, you know?
Oh, definitely. Definitely. This
I don't
wasn't.
think his name is tarnished in. I don't think it's that tarnished publicly. I think people, if you ask vast majority of people, what is Diddy actually guilty of? They was just being a freak.
Exactly.
It's not like Larry Nassar, the famous gymnastic doctor, where he actually assaulted. You know what I mean? In that sense, you know. So there's no comeback for him. You know what I mean? So in Diddy case, and just have to move on, and I'm not gonna say treat woman better.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
True.
But
all right, bro.
Still SouFLo.
Manners and respect, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this should be, and the funny thing is, not for nothing, but I was thinking that as soon as that verdict got read, I said to myself, I hope right now he is not thinking about a damn freak off. Because, when you're addicted to certain things, if you don't control your addictions, even when them get you in trouble already, you'll be right back to what you're addicted to. Case in point, people who are addicted to drugs, and because of the drugs, they keep going back in and out of jail, in and out of jail, in and out of jail. The temptation is always there. Don't forget, when they arrested Diddy at that hotel, look at what they found in the room. They found the whole setup, like he was getting ready to do a freak off. And what did Daphne say in her testimony? She said she was the one that was going there to the hotel to go give him a freak off when he was arrested. She was on her way. So I'm thinking, man, listen, leg of the freak off thing, bro. Leg of the freak off thing. And did it seem like him have a type? Because, if you look at Cassie, she looks Asian, Hispanic kind of mix. Then if you look at Daphne, she definitely Asian, something mix. Then there was another girl who they think is TMZ, or one of them bucked her up in our parking lot yesterday. I don't know if it's TMZ, but one of them bucked her up in our parking lot yesterday with a microphone, and they asked her, Cassie says she is in fear of her life if they let him out. We know that you used to be with him. Are you in fear of your life? And she was like, no, I'm not afraid of him. I'm not afraid of Sean. So, it looked like him have a type. He might have to go switch up him type too. Don't hold me on this one. But, I don't know them no more. But I knew quite a few sisters. They would have done it for the cheap. He could have saved a whole lot of money. They would have been glad just to be flown out to somewhere different. I'm talking about black women. Yeah. And them look good too. So, maybe you just need to stick to your kind, I don't know, and find the freak, find your how them say it, find your what? Like them say, find your clan, or find your crew, or find your ah man. Yeah. But you gotta leave certain type alone. Was he living there beforehand? Missing person, Jaguar right. Jaguar right. Chris H. What happened to Jaguar right? Reggae Girl says them should have come catch Daphne in the act. She would have still got testify against the man. I say it wasn't her. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
SouFLo, good morning. How you doing, brother?
I'm good, family. How you doing?
Well, I'm there upon the work, every equipment operator,
Saying. Big up yourself, man.
Yeah, I listen to the show. I say the judge should have cut the man some bail because in the chapter, not know none of the racketeering and none of that kind of stuff. So they denied a $50 million bail for two transporting. That sounds outrageous.
Yeah, he denied the $50 million bail when the case first started, but they offered a $1 million bail yesterday. He denied that too.
Yeah, it kind of outrageous to not do no bail,
Yeah. But like I said, right, the judge.
Next thing I want to say is, us black man, when we get the money, we want this Latino or Asian or white woman, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the point that I'm making is, bro, like if it was a black woman, I think he would have been fine. He would be in all this trouble. You know what I'm saying?
I don't did I try to say just now too. That's exactly what I was saying just now too.
And
me and you both know,
and
me and you as
bro,
men both know that there are lots of black women out here who are just one level above how she actually living, pampered. She'll go over the moon and back and do all kind of sitting.
A black woman would have some kind of, you know, sympathy or some conscience. I mean, I think they would have really tried to tear him down like this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And bro, I know you have a couple of youth and you try to get them in a football and thing, but make sure you put them up on game. Because these women, they have an agenda, bro. So
oh, definitely.
Put up your youth and on game. Yeah, man.
Oh, yeah, man.
Manners
definitely. Manners and respect, bro.
All right, cool.
Definitely. For sure. It might need to get a bunch of AI dolls made to his specification of freakiness when we're not gonna talk. The AI doll them don't hit the same, man. Them different. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
Yes, my brother boss.
But
Long time listener, first time caller. Just want to chime in on the whole Diddy thing. A lot of people have alluded to the fact that it could have been a distraction from many things.
Right.
You understand? Especially the whole what you call it, the whole Abercrombie and Finch thing where they go on, the CEO. Where you have all them sex trafficking thing. You don't hear nothing about that.
Not a thing. Not a thing.
Not a thing about.
You don't hear nothing about. You don't hear nothing about the charges against the Playboy Mansion estate.
Nothing.
And you don't hear nothing about none of that, right? Hugh Hefner is gone,
right.
But the Playboy Mansion estate still lives.
It still stands, yeah.
And there nothing about none of that.
People think, no. So me I look at it and me I say, yo, this kind of crazy to how everything is about Diddy, but there have more serious charges out there because with the Abercrombie and Finch brother, it's a lot of men he used to bring in. You know, and I like say Diddy with the open girl them and thing, I do him do him kind of thing them too,
but Diddy never get charged for no whole heap of girl. I two women where him actually have long-term relationships with for Diddy. That's why I know them never have nothing.
That's right.
Yeah.
It was a distraction. Nothing short of that. And yeah, the brother went on just now with a very important point about the black man with the white women. I see it a lot. A lot of times you see when them brothers start make money, or they not understand it bigger than just making money or love who you want and them little thing there. When you did, if you look at it at this first from this point, you're a man where let's say you're going to the NFL, you make 100 mil, right? Them white girl don't mind skin it out, excuse me language, they don't mind skin it out for you because they got everything. All that got some of them friends too. But here what them are going to do, them know say when them have 1 and 2 or even 3 picking for you. Right? That 100 mil now, when them left you, they might take half of it. They might take the house. Plus you have got to fund all the money and all them something they do. So you end up going to send back 75 mil out there, 100 mil to the white community. When you put that, they will assist them and keep the money in the community. So that's how a lot of people overlook a lot of time when they deal with people outside of the race. You know?
And it turns into just let people love who they want to love, right?
Yeah, then let them say let's love them, make them love who they want to love, but it's not that simple. There's women have an agenda. They would have never seen it if they never have money. You know? All of them is I'm gonna look what happened with Shannon Sharp, look what happened to so many of the black brothers. You know, with these white women, them need to just skip past that, stick with the race.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go that far though, but stick with the race because you know, I may talk about that later. I'll talk about that later.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's up here this morning and the respect.
All right, manners. Yeah, I'm not talk about. I'm not one of them to talk about stick with no race. Because you have some disloyal, disingenuous black people out here. Enough time, Mr. Black woman set up them husbands to get them killed, so they can run off with another black man, with the life insurance policy and all these things. So it's not like it's just a white woman thing and only white women. So if you stick with black, you're gonna be all right, kind of thing. If anything, you need to learn to be discerning when it comes to the spirit of a person and who you're dealing with and who you're bringing into your circle, and stop being so frivolous with your body, especially when you have so much to lose. You know what I mean? You can probably can find somebody white good and somebody black good or somebody Asian good, just as much as you can find somebody in all those who are wicked. But if you're not careful and tuned in, and if you're being led by lust and drugs and, you know, this frivolous excitement and all that, then you're going to get in trouble. So it ain't so much about race and stick to your race kind of thing. Because I'm not one of them people. I mean, I believe in no stick to no race, nothing. Me, I love who I love me. You know what I mean? I mean, I respect who I respect me. That kind of stuff. At the end of the day. But for the people them who actually do, though, wait till you get some money and jump over to the other side, then you're a fool for that too. My principle is, you know, you stay down with who you came up with. They did a documentary recently, and the documentary was about football players, because in the last draft, in the last NFL draft, I don't know if y'all know it, in the last NFL draft that went by, I believe it was like 90-something% of the black brothers who got big contracts and went off into the NFL, they had white girls. So this time people were like, damn, we used to seeing it, but not this much. What happened? There was one football player who said, well, he's still in college. He's doing his last year, and he is slated to go to the NFL in the next draft. But he's already friends with a lot of these guys because they went through the programs over the years. So he said he's going to put this together so everybody can understand. And then he said, don't shoot the messenger. I don't know if y'all seen the video. He said, don't shoot the messenger. Let's get this clear. I am a black man and I love black women. And for me, if I'm going to get married, it's going to have to be a black woman. But that's for me. But I'm going to tell you why my friends have chosen who they're with. And he went down the list of all his friends that just made it to the NFL. First of all, I was watching the video and I was thinking to myself, yes, he is in an elite group of friends. Imagine being in a group of friends where all your friends are millionaires. Your contract is 60 mil. Your contract is 85 mil. Your contract is 127 mil for 4 years. Your contract is, and I'm up next. Wow. So that in itself was powerful to me. That's a lot of money moving around between young black men coming fresh out of college. And they didn't even finish college. It's like they're so good at football that they took them out in their second year of college. Well, it was way deeper than surface meets the eye. One of them said, let's use Candy. He said, me and Candy been together since I was like in the 7th or 8th grade. And when we graduated high school together, we decided to go to the same college, or she decided to follow me because I got a scholarship to go to XYZ. You know, this been my girlfriend all that time. And another one was like, I'm not good at writing papers. I'm not good at anything intellectual because it's just not my thing. You know, I'm more focused on working out and playing ball and spending a lot of time on the field. But in order to get here, you have to have a certain GPA. You have to maintain a certain GPA when you get that scholarship. If they yank the scholarship, you won't be able to go to a draft or get selected. You have to, you know, pass your SATs and then get accepted into, and this, that. He was like, she was the one. She was like my personal tutor the whole time for all these years. And of course, Dr. Omar took that same video, and Dr. Omar said, did y'all see the video? The same video I'm talking about. Dr. Omar said, did y'all see the video? Y'all need to go watch that video and listen to what they're saying, because this is definitely a problem we're having. He said, sisters want what's ready-made. He said, but you see that snow bunny? Y'all know how Dr. Omar talks, right? He was like, you see that snow bunny? That snow bunny sees potential. That snow bunny sees it from way down the road. That snow bunny will invest from way back when, and she'll stick. Well, guess what? My general consensus of all that is, if you saw NFL in me from 7th grade and you nurtured another one, there you got to see the video. There are all kinds of stories. One of the guys said, I don't have to pay for. He said, I was dating a black girl, right, for the longest. And as soon as she heard that universities were looking at me and I might be heading to the NFL, this is me not even getting there yet. As soon as she heard that, she wanted steak and lobster dinner. She wanted trips, getaways. And I would tell her that I don't have that money yet. And she was like, but you good for it though. Spend it because it's coming. You're going to get it right back. And she want these expensive weaves and hairdos. He said, the white girl I'm with, she called me and asked me, did you eat yet? And I said, nah, because I just got done with practice and we got a film watch session meeting after or whatever. She said, you hungry? I said, I'm starving. And she was like, well, I just stopped by Taco Bell and I got XYZ. You want me to drop some off for you? She made sure that I eat. She never asked me to take her to any expensive restaurants. Her hair is none of my business. She washed it and go about her business, style it herself. And I don't have to worry. And I was like, damn. So there are many. I'm saying all this to say it's not black and white. It's not surface. It's not what meets the eye. And definitely every situation is not the same. So we can't go around looking at people talking about, yeah, now that he in the NFL, see, soon as he got drafted, he went and got him a white girl. $57 million contract and a white girl. That's standard. Go listen to the story. Oh, me and we've been together since 7th grade. Oh, wow. 7th grade, 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, senior year, graduate, college, first year, second year. You can't have been planning for that far. And if you planned for that far and you saw that in me, I'm marrying you. Because you're the one who deserved that. You're the one who deserved that. You know what I mean? Wow. They got the nil contracts now. What that mean? Me all right with chicken back and dumpling. See, Audrey, but that's not them. And that's what these brothers was trying to explain. They're like, black girls, they like, what kind? Oh, one of them was like, she was like, why are you always driving this beat up ass car? Didn't you get selected to go to whatever? She was like, use some of that money and get yourself a nice car. And he asked her what kind of car he should get. And she chose like some big expensive name car. Just off the bat. You know, in other words, I want to be in the money with you. And if you get the money, it's our money and I'm spending. And then white girls ain't even worried about it. Nah, them white girls just, for the most part, is I'm going to have children with him and we're going to, you know, people are so wicked. They'll be like, yeah, because she planned all of that too. She's going to be there and then down the road, she's going to divorce you and get... Y'all don't talk about the other part where white girl was with him since 7th grade when nobody believed in him. And over the years, she encouraged him and he got better and better. She's just a woman. She got better and better. He got better and better. And she kept growing with him over them years. You know what I mean? And now that he has this $1 million contract, he running down and effing every damn white girl that's out there because that's his type. And she home trying to play wifey to these biracial kids that she now has. And you don't think her world is shattered? So when she finally decides to leave, people turn around and go, see, she wasn't going to stay anyways. She just wanted to have 2 kids and put in some years to make sure she gets the alimony and the everything else. It don't really go like that. And these men can tell you too that them women didn't just up and want a divorce and or leave them or walk away from them. You will hear the stories. Man, I was tripping 2.0 wilding out here. You know what I mean? I come from nothing. My first contract was $127 million for 4 years. I had everything at my fingertips. So off season, I was wilding, man. And women throw themselves at you when you know, that big in the game. I came out of 2 years of college like that. So and it messed up my marriage. So it ain't about, if you invested in me, if you sticking by me, if you see my vision and you're helping me to get to it, you're the person I'm supposed to marry. I don't give a damn if you Chinese, Asian, Indian, Asian, white, black, brown, blue, whatever. If you sticking by me and you see my vision and you helping me to accomplish that, and now it is accomplished and I'm swimming in the millions, you the person that deserves to be right there. Facts. Dorothy T says, no, it's not black and white, but it's prevalent in the sports industry. I'm going to give you another statistic, Dorothy T, and you go look this one up. Majority of black men who play professional sports are the ones that are married to black women. You heard what I just said? Go look it up. Majority of black men who play professional sports and are married are actually married to black women. There's something in your brain that makes you think that they all with white women. Majority of them are with black women. They won't play that over and over in your head though. So again, they were asking, why is it that we see so many of the biracial couples though, instead of seeing the black family? That might be another thing to have a discussion about. The black family. The black family is something a lot of people don't want to see. They don't want to encourage that image. You understand? Right. So majority of black men who play professional sports who are married are actually married to black women. His same black girlfriend that he had from high school and junior high school, some of them from even elementary. Just like LeBron James. Yeah. But the media, for some reason, likes to see the black athlete with that white girl on his arm. So they play you those images a lot. And then you start thinking that that's what the reality is when it's not. That's the truth. Right. Nand said, I've heard some black men say that white women are more supportive. At the risk of getting in trouble myself, because I've been down these roads, you know, I won't say there, I could speak from my own experience. They're less spicy. I'll say that. Okay, so our food is seasoned differently, right? They're less spicy. They're less spicy. To a man who's trying to build something and go somewhere, you need that. Is that what you said, babe? Okay, well, that's what we're doing then. Instead of, why is it that? Why does it always have to be that? You can't lead me nowhere. My words are important too. You gotta listen to what I have to say too. You know what I mean? I'm saying. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
No, thank you.
You. All right.
They are more supportive. 100%.
You say it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you ever see one of our woman that change car brakes?
We still on YouTube.
Yes,
she have our own channel on YouTube. She's a female mechanic. What?
Then come outside and ask you and change the car brakes and change all the clutch.
No, nothing in my life, but
all right.
On YouTube.
All right, the guy back now listen.
All right, bro. Oh boy. So unseasoned. Yeah, listen, our women are spicy, okay? I always say, so we have to be careful, because this is a super sensitive topic, You step on the wrong toe around here, the Dolly House mash up. So I have to say it like this: what we must realize is this, that Mel says, but they don't have to fight the world like. That's where I'm going with it, Mel. I got you, and it's all love. The backgrounds are different, right? That's what plays a big part in it. The backgrounds are different. The black man got to realize that majority of the struggles that you have to face, she got to face them same struggles. So in places where you have built walls and this hard shell for protection, she's done the same, And it just so happens that I'll put it like this, when two damaged people come together, a lot of the times, instead of realizing that they're both two damaged people with traumas and, all kinds of other stuff, they're supposed to like heal each other, but instead they end up damaging each other even more. And then even in some cases, creating children in the process who get damaged along the way also. What I've experienced, though, is if you're the one that's coming from a disadvantaged background, and because don't get it twisted, white people go through their stuff too and have their poverty and their everything else too. But for the most part, the world does not look at them the same as you get looked at. The obstacles that are placed in you and your kind's way is not the same that they would have to, find a way to get over, under, or around, kind of thing. So your struggles are not the same, right? So as much as you can relate with a sister, it turns out to be more like trauma bonding than anything else. I told y'all a story one time where I was like, I was being loved right, but I didn't even know I was being loved right. It was like, I'm going to the kitchen to get something, babe. You want anything while I'm there? Hear me. Just go get yourself what you need, man. Why you always asking me if I want something while you in there? I'm not handicapped. I could get up and get my own stuff. I want y'all to think about this. I'm going to the kitchen to go get something, babe. I'm gonna go get a drink of water or whatever. You want me to bring you back anything? I'm sitting there watching TV, right? And I'm like, man, just go get your own stuff. I could go get my own stuff. Who says that? Who says that? And then after that, my next person I was with was the type to just go get what they want and never ask me for nothing or if I wanted anything. And I was like, damn, I miss having the person who said, hey, I'm heading to the kitchen to get something. You want me to bring you back something? Make you a sandwich while I'm in there. You hungry? You ready for your dinner? You want me to bring you something to drink? Whatever. Something out the fridge? Nothing. You don't really realize it until you frig up that. And then you end up with somebody who don't even ask you nothing. They just go get and come sit down right beside you drinking and eating. And, So I'm like, shit, that's actually what love was, and concern, and care, and nurturing was. But you weren't ready to receive that. Actually thought something was wrong with that kind of thing. And this is my comparison between a black woman, being with a black woman and a white woman, in my personal experience. I'm not speaking for everybody else's experience because I never lived your life. In my personal experience, right? So, and I'm not saying that all white women are the same way because I've never been with all white women. I'm not saying all black women are the same way because I've never been with all black women. I'm just talking from my personal experience. But my personal experience mirrors the experience of many other brothers. And these are things we have conversations about in our man circle when we are talk. You know what I mean? So you will hear some of them say, bro, I can't date no black girl, bro. Because every time I date a black girl, Beer figure and foolishness. Like them head hard, them want to fight you, them all kind of something disagreeable, this, that, and the other. White girl, from me say up, she say where, when, how. Gone up. From me say down, she gone down. If we say left, left, we gone already. No, is like no fighting and resistance or anything, and it makes my thing flow more smoother. Can't argue with that if that's what they're experiencing and that's their experience. We're not talking for everybody experience. We are talking for our experience, but we're also talking for people who we know as well, right? I have a heightened sense of defense for the topic of discussion, SouFLo. So blessed love everyone and peace, says Lulu Ridges. Lulu, it's all good. We'll see you later. Lulu says she have a heightened sense of defense, so she is out. Remember that marriage counselor, the female marriage counselor? She said she counsels couples, right? She's been doing it for 20-something years, seasoned. She said she started noticing that when she's counseling them together, because she counsels them together as a couple, and then she counsels them apart. She notices that when she's counseling them together and she's taking the woman's side, like, you know, when the woman is saying, I don't like this and he doesn't do that and this is what makes me angry, and because he's not allowed to speak. Everybody is going to get their turn to speak. She's playing a mediator first. And then we're going to bring it together. And she goes, and when they're doing that and she's like, and she's taking her notes, and then she goes, jumps on him, and she's like, did you hear what your wife said though about, and he tries to say anything like, yeah, but, and she's like, no buts. Did you hear what she said when she said this? It forces him into a yes, no. There's no way you could not have heard it. In her 5 minutes of talking, she literally repeated that about 7 times. This is something that's super important to you, to your relationship, to your stability. You need to pay attention to this, right? The women will continue to come. They'll show up on time with a smile on their faces. This is an expert. She said as soon as it's his turn and she has to stay quiet, and she now flips the role and she is copying down stuff and she's listening, giving him attention. And every time she tries to jump in, she's same treatment. Nope, we're not going to do that. You're going to listen, just like how I had him listen. And then when it's time now to press her, did you hear what he said though? Yeah, but that's because when he was, no, same thing. Did you hear what he said about XYZ? It's almost as if that is their cue to never come back. Because the next week, when it's time for their scheduled meeting again, she said the husbands show up by themselves. And she had it happening so much, she started gathering up all the people she knows that are her colleagues in her field of expertise to find out, is this happening only at my practice or is this happening? And she was like, lo and behold, everybody had the same thing in common. As long as the man is getting pressed and the woman can freely say whatever she feels like saying and not listen, and he has to listen, she's fine. She'll stay. She's happy. And she loves feeling like the therapist is taking her side. When the roles are reversed and it's his time to speak and her turn to listen, nah, this is some bullshit. I'm out of here. I'm not coming back. Or some of them would tell her to her side, you must like him or something, or you're taking his side for what? And she's like, but I gave you the same exact treatment I'm giving him now. And you had no problem with it then. You know what I mean? What does that say to you? So, end of the day, it's not everybody can or wants or cares to hear the truth. Not everybody cares to hear the truth. You know, if you're sitting out here saying, all these guys, them soon as them get famous, them just go get white chick. But if they actually do a documentary going back showing you that I didn't just get a white girl because I'm famous. No. Me and this one been together since I was in the 7th grade. your tune should change, but it doesn't. You just ignore everything that he just said or showed you and go, nah, your kind just get white girl soon as gonna get some money. You know, I'm sensitive to this type of topic, so I'm out of here. I'll see y'all later. When you're talking about something that I actually like. Bye. Right? Right. But it's all good. It's all good. I understand that, you know, not everybody is comfortable with the truth, but that's life. Sometimes the truth is uncomfortable and we have to face it. It makes you a better person. It makes you a better person. I used to be that kind of guy. You couldn't give me no white books to read. You couldn't tell me nothing about no white people because they were never good in my book, in my eyes. And I told you this my experience for those of you who've been following me for years on this platform. You know, when God put you out into the world and show you, because it's a journey, this life for yours is a journey. So if you're so hard-lined against anybody else except for black, that was my definition of love for me, my people, and nobody else. I was put out into the world, and it was demonstrated in my life that all kinfolk ain't kinfolk. It was demonstrated in my life that love and help can come from those who are completely the opposite of what you are. And hate and hurt can come from those who you want to love so much because they're just like you. That's a lesson in life that you should never try to let go of. You know what I mean? Right. So for man, them locked down your live. Nance says me too. Reggae girl says biracial SouFlo. I don't really say biracial. I just look at life like, now don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. As a Caribbean man, as a Jamaican, and as someone of African descent, no member, you know, my family and my bloodline mix up with others as well. So do I ignore all the others and just say, we're just black? You know, at some point in life, you get to realize that I have love, unconditional love for me and my kind first. But there's room to love others as well, especially if they're loving me, especially if they care about me genuinely. And it shows through their actions. You understand? So, I mean, that should be like simple. That should be like simple. Reggae girl says, stick to the evil who you know. That's what destroy a lot of us. I see people. Thank you, Nance. I see people. I see people. And because I see people, it allows me to see the good in people as well as the evil in people. Because I see people. I see a character of an individual before I see like the person for okay, it's a white girl. Or it's a white man and probably evil nor us. Because you know it in them. Now don't get me wrong. The minute you show me any kind of anything else, I do attribute it to yeah, that's what you are, and you won't ever hear me having no interactions with you again. But at the same time, I don't go around just labeling, and separating and labeling. I told my son that. Far as in college right now, he lives on campus. I'm about to go pick him up in a few days, so you come home for a break and go back. I told him, I said, when you get here, please do not just lock yourself in and seek to associate with blacks only. Don't do it. He's going to a school that's in a pretty diverse part of Florida. And the school, the body, student body is pretty diverse, right? As a matter of fact, I would say that he's probably really minority in numbers, his kind on that campus, and he's surrounded by everybody else. And I remember being that age, and I remember locking myself away from or not really wanting to be around when I have to teach my son now that the purpose of you going into these spaces, you're at a university where the student body is diverse. The world is ran off of what we used to call politicking back in the day. The world is ran off of networking and connections. You know, there's a lot of stuff out here that you have dreams about doing. Your ass just don't have the connections to do it. You don't know anybody that could pull a few strings for you here, there, or anywhere. You know what I mean? So that's what that circle is about. That's what that space is about. So make sure when you go in there that you keep an open mind in that regard. That was something very important to teach my son, right? King Big says there's good and bad in all. Absolutely. Nan says, I have my own kind betray me more than the others. Yeah, but that's who is going to betray you more because that's who you're around more. I learned that part too. You know, just like they say, blacks kill blacks more than anything else. Well, shit, Chinese kill Chinese more than anything else. Whites kill whites more than anybody else. Indians kill Indians more than anybody else. It's because that's who you're around. That's who they're around. That's their community, the makeup of their community. That's who they beefing with. That's who they doing illegal stuff with. That's who they trusted the most. That's who they, you know what I'm saying? So this whole black kill blacks more than anybody else. Some of these things we need to like take a step back and literally look and make sense instead of just run off these cliche sayings. Feel me? But that part. Anyway, we not up for all that, man. We not up for the division thing. I hate division and I hate colorism type of thing. I don't like it in the black community, and I hate racist people and racism. Point blank and period. I'm not a kumbaya kind of person, though. I'll let you know that. I am definitely not a kumbaya kind of person, right? There are certain things just can't be said publicly on platforms like these. But I'll say it like this. If you are not what I am, then in order for me, you can't get a pass like just that. You have to be in tune with those who are like me and what their struggle is. And if you are, then you my kind of people. I'll leave it at that. I'll leave it at that. Yeah. Dorothy T says, to me, culture is more important than color. To me, love and respect is more important than anything. Because we could have two different cultures and everything. If you have genuine love for me and my kind and true respect, then it trumps everything. Flo, when you say you hate the division, you don't like. No, Jerome, I don't like maths. So it makes sense. I don't like division, but for some reason I like multiplying though. So I don't know. I do like multiplying. I got 6 kids. I love multiplying. I love the act of starting to multiply, boy. Either way, listen, we off track. We about to get back on track. Diddy not guilty. Diddy still facing some time, depending on what the judge says. I'm glad that he gets to keep his wealth. He wasn't stripped of it. I will close the Diddy segment by saying this, and it fits perfectly. That's why sometimes I just let this flow. It fits perfectly. Look, black people, or kinfolk, or kinfolk and kinfolk, black people, listen, y'all got to really stop. Y'all got to really stop being so anxious to help others tear your own kind down. Sometimes there's a time where you just don't say anything. You don't have an opinion. It's kind of like that parent that will defend their child outside, but you know when you get in the house, you about to get it, right? But I'll never embarrass you outside. But you getting it when you get in the house. Yeah. So I keep repeating this because I keep seeing it. I've seen other communities and their famous peoples and their leaders get into situations and the social media goes dry for them. Like they have no comments to make. Or they're like, well, if this is true, you know, and we'll see what happens when he goes to trial, or I guess that's why we have a justice system. Let the justice system sort it out. Or for us, we the cheerleaders, we up front, we the loudest for the tear down and the destruction of. We gotta stop that. We gotta stop that. You know? And then we flex like that, and then we say stuff like, oh, black love and love black, and that where when you're the first to help tear down any of your kind, you believe anything that's said. You don't even want to go research and look up to see if this is actually true, or wait for the case. Look, somebody just said in the comment section, well, not just said, they said it about 30 minutes ago. I believe it's somebody with the UK on their name, said in the comment section, what happened to the tainted baby oil or the spiked baby oil? In Diddy's case, that was one of the rumors that was going around. And I watched a little Scrappy try to put that out there like, you know what the baby oil is for? You never watched that movie? I think it's Get Out or whatever the hell the movie is called. And he was like, yeah. So the baby oils are spiked with drugs, right? And it's a kind of drug that when they rub the baby oil on your skin, it like makes them like start hallucinating and start doing all kinds of stuff, and anything you tell them to do, they'll do it and whatever. And I'm looking like, you really don't like this brother. But after he said that, everybody else ran with it. So that's where the baby oils being spiked come from. Oh, so every time I would tell people it's not illegal to have baby oil, you could have a swimming pool full of baby oil, they would tell me, not when you spike in the baby oil with drugs, so people could strip all their clothes off because they're hot, and then it starts messing with their minds. Wasn't nothing in Diddy's baby oils but baby oil. but it was us who were out here embellishing these stories and being entertained by the embellishment of these stories. You know, we have to make it more exciting. Never mind that you're tearing this man down. Never mind that you're destroying him and helping who wants to destroy him. The baby oil have something in it? No, I don't know. Them baby oils got drugs in them, and they make your skin feel like it's on fire, and you got to strip your clothes off, and then you start going like, you start hallucinating, and they could do anything they want to do to you. And you know, we're excited and we're happy and Another person said he got found not guilty for the minors. Another person said he got found not guilty for the minors. He lucky he beat that one because he would have been in prison for life. I said, did you read the affidavit? It was made public to everybody. Did you take your time to read it? There was no mention of, no, the person actually said, so if it's one of you females said it, just like I just remembered, it's a UK. Okay, this Chris that asked. Chris H, UK tuned in. That was Chris that asked that. I just remember the UK part of the name. Now, for this one, it was one of you, a woman named that said it. Oh, what happened to the charges for lucky he got off of the charges for the minors, because that he would have been in prison for life. And I said, oh, she said, if that's the case, R. Kelly should have been released by now then, or gotten a way lesser sentence. And I said, did you read the affidavit? There was nothing in Diddy's whole stuff that said anything about a minor. 2 grown women. That's it. And these are 2 women who he had extensive relationships with. One, publicly, everybody knew that was his woman for years, over a decade. and the other one, they've been doing this for 3 years and change, with him providing her a all expense paid lifestyle. Minors. And you feel comfortable putting that out there. Y'all don't understand the destruction that you're helping to cause. And you're too happy to do it when it's your own. But you won't do it when it's others. I've seen some of our people, when it's other people, they literally over there defending the person. But they over here where it's somebody like them tearing him down. And in both cases, they don't have any added information that what everybody else has. But if you hear them tell it, you would think they were there personally with Diddy. I seen that wicked, nasty mother. He needs to spend the rest of his life in prison. They need to bury him under the prison. I'm like, damn. Bury him under the prison? What did he do to be buried under the prison? He needs to spend the rest of his life in prison. The rest of his life? This is a father of 6, you know. The rest of his life, for what? We got to stop. We're the only people that do this and take pride in doing it. And of course, it empowers those who want to tear our kind down, because you're rallying for them, you're cheerleading, and you're doing the work for them. The Buffalo Soldieress, I have no idea what you're talking about. She said, no, SouFLo. I think she is talking about the girl who said that she drove to his gathering and went through bodyguards to get in. And it was untrue though. She said minors, as if there were children involved. Plural. Multiple. Minors. But yeah, that was fake too. That was fake too. And even after they got Jay-Z's name out of it, they still decided to keep the case going anyways. Okay, we took Jay-Z out, but just keep Diddy in there same way and just keep it going. You know, we're going to get money from somebody out here. And it's the same black people. Why Jay-Z is defending himself so much. When I saw that comment, I about died. Why he defending himself so much? Usually when they defend themselves that much, they guilty. What? Anyway, moving right along. I don't know how many people I'm going to lose on this one. I don't know if you watched it or not. Everything after this is just passing out information. But Alkaline. Them they want me out. Make a time come back with the formula. Alkaline. Wait now. Let me text somebody. My fresh pressed watermelon. I'm trying to drink it before it gets too warm though. Mixed with ginger. I'm almost done. I'm down to like 1 meal a day now. I go work out and then I feel like me I drop asleep because my body feel like it's eating itself. But that's what I gotta do, right? And I'm juicing and then I eat 1 meal for the day. My meal will be later on. I get some nice chicken foot soup yesterday. That was that. I was watching the TV yesterday and so many females said Jay-Z is next, shaking my head. And there was so many females are black. That part. That part. But let's talk about Alkaline though, and Alkaline's latest interview. So, dancehall artist Alkaline, tonight every girl out on that devil. This was his first interview in 10 years that he did with Cliff Hughes. I saw it yesterday. As you know, Alka's New Rules concert is going to be in Jamaica in coming days. I believe it's Saturday, this Saturday coming. And they're, drumming up the publicity and building the momentum to get to the event. So he does his first interview in 10 years, a decade. And he said a lot of things that were, I guess, were controversial, that had people talking. There's a part in the interview where Cliff Hughes asked him about like clashing, and he said, like, if him have beef with anybody, like real beef, or it's just, and he said, no man, it's just a vibe. It's just a vibe. And Cliff Hughes said, like Vibes Cartel and Alkaline did like this. Who? There was nobody behind him. It was one of those, who? Like, who named so? You might not nobody. Who you asked me about? And then he said, isn't he locked up? Like he was trying to say, the last time he heard about Vibes Cartel, he was incarcerated. I didn't know he was free. Like, isn't he locked up? Kind of thing. I don't even see him. Is basically what that comment was saying, right? A lot of people also are talking about the way in which he did the interview, how he answered the questions. And I got something to say about all that. So let's start with the part about Vibes Cartel, right? To me, Alkaline kind of fell off because his biggest songs were in a time gone by, and he hasn't caught another since. But I also said over the years that he did something smart. Yes, he has solidified himself in dancehall, but he branched out, realizing that DJing and writing songs and performing them is not the only thing there to do. Get into modeling, work with a big brand if you can. I think he was working with Da Vinci. He walked the runway for Da Vinci. Has his own brand now where he does concerts. So if you come from back in the day where you know about Reggae Sunsplash and then Sting, and then we come down to Unruly Fest, Popcorn, Thing That, and then you come down to, you know what I mean, Some Fest, Joe Bogdanovich, them Thing That, and then you have Vibes Cartel with his Freedom Street concert, which he says is going to be annual, and you have St. Mirror come from with Cape Tandem, something that, and then you have, just different names and brands that you can put on a huge show and collect a big piece of money off of and get lots of publicity while breaking other artists and doing other things like that. He got himself a good thing going himself with his Unruly Fest thing. But he wasn't putting out music that was making him relevant enough to be considered in the top, those who are running the place kind of thing, right? So for Alkaline to do this interview with Cliff Hughes and then go, who? Isn't he locked up? Somebody asked me yesterday, SouFLo, why did Cliff Hughes say yes when Alkaline asked if Cartel isn't locked up? Isn't he locked up? I don't know why he said yes. We all know that Vibes Cartel isn't locked up. He's free out of lockup and he's doing big things. I think, though, all Alkaline was doing was giving back the same treatment. Basically, him must say, where you depend and where me depend, right? So he's giving back the same kind of treatment. Please be on topic. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
Go on the G.
But then family welcome. Yeah, man. Can't complain. How you?
Nice, man. We get a little bit of bad news. Everything good,
Saying.
Yeah, man, we dip on topic, man. How they are say, wait.
Talk to winner, man. Talk where go on now. Talk now. What you say?
Man shot himself in the foot, man.
He shot himself in the foot?
Yeah, man.
Them want me, all shot himself in the foot.
Because for one, you have to bear in mind that the whole world knows that in take cartel, house, land and everything.
Living a man style for a minute.
Yeah. And then for you for forward on TV and say,
isn't he locked up? Like you don't know, say him free.
Yeah, you will lock up because Cartel for this year, this month, like 1 year since he's out. And Cartel did multiple sold out shows in less than 2 months. You see what I'm saying?
Cartel been dominating. Cartel has been dominating to the point where even if you never like dancehall and reggae music, you know who him is now.
Yeah, even to the fact where the man buy 3 houses.
Back to back.
And I see him here, yeah.
But
record label.
Yeah.
What has Alkaline accomplished for 2025?
Yeah, so the fact that he's saying he don't know, isn't he locked up? I think Alkaline said that because when Vybz Kartel was interviewed and they asked Vybz Kartel about Alkaline, Vybz Kartel actually said, "Who? Oh, that's a nice water. It's a good water, yeah. Like an alkaline water, good for your body type of thing." But him did then forward and say, you know, no beef, no there or nothing like that. Just, I think him saying just him never went say. But he was giving him the same treatment.
Right.
Yeah, but Alkaline didn't know upon Cartel level, but I don't know why him shoot himself in the foot like you say. I'm gonna say that. But yeah, I'll give him this, bro.
He has not. Huh?
I'll give him this. He has a fan base that will believe when he says, "Isn't he locked up?" Right now, them are run around as a Cartel still locked up. Because Alkaline said, "Isn't he locked up?"
Well, you have to bear in mind, you know, common sense, not so common.
True.
Oh, because man. If me, I go say somebody who come out of prison out of 13 years, not only dominating more than me with it 3, forward that the same era with me there, and dominate the whole American space, where him had for 13 years, and still forward and set up shop. Made a shame.
Right, that's all.
Made a shame.
Right, that's all.
I mean, I say it because I'm a huge fan of Cartel. I'm saying this to say, yo.
It's factual.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
It's factual. I think he's refusing to pay homage or respect to the greater ones ahead of him is what really people don't really like.
But you know refusing doesn't make sense either because Vendetta name a Cartel person early on in her career. the tattoo, the whole body tattoo thing, a Cartel are the first to do that.
See.
Even with the tattoo, yeah. Cartel said in one interview. You see what I said? So whether I want to accept it or acknowledge it, the facts is there.
Why?
And every artist in this generation will bust. That's what Cartel say, I feel new them.
Yeah.
You see what I say?
Yeah. Some can't get around paying homage.
He can't go around it. So when you want me like, yo, it's like me remember. It reminds me of the same interview on stage when he said, "What is a gauge?"
What is a gauge? Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah. That and Cartel said that we're not in the same class. If anything, Alka should have war with Massacre. That's King Biggs. Thank you. Because that me did try to remember. Because we need to get on that. All right? Yeah. But I really talk your talk, bro. True talk.
And then it's like the man said, explain who Alkaline is. Man say, just the vibe.
So all right then. So watch this. Since you're there, all right. Me not gonna ask you this. Well, I was gonna speak about it after you hang up, but you're there. So since you're gone there already. the level of intellect, the level of I should say the level of intelligence and eloquence that was exercised throughout this interview then. Me never see Alka. You know what pissed me off? Let me get Ram playing on straight. You know what, because we're not going on no book talk. You know what pissed me off about the interview? Half of the interview, me couldn't hear nothing what the brother said. And me sit down here and watch it with wifey, because I said, babe, do I have to watch this? Because I want to talk about it tomorrow, and I don't want to talk about something what I don't know. So, me I watch it on the big screen, and me I say, she turn it up more and more and more. But me I say, Mr. Hughes is getting louder, but me still can't hear Alka. So, it's obviously not their sound system, is him.
Right.
Is him. So me I say, why am I talk so? Now if you go checking up, when them announced he's gonna do the interview a week ago, you know, me put a comment that said, Alkaline, please don't go to Jamaica go do no interview if you're not going to speak in the interview because you are intelligent and everybody knows that you're intelligent. Alkaline did the school challenge quiz. And I remember
intelligent, you know, machine.
Brother, I'm the intelligent. Alka was an intelligent youth.
Let me show you something now.
I think, hold on. Let me say this. Hold on. No, do that yet. Let me say this first. Alka is an intelligent youth. When time Alka did a school challenge quiz, you hear how Alka spoke eloquently. I've said this over the years, and it's no disrespect. I said I love the Gunman song them, but Alka's pocket theme kind of an artist we find a niche, and them don't, if it ain't broken, don't fix it. Keep working with the niche. His niche was girl songs, but the man left and gone a bad man thing, right? And it seems like he's been trying to convince himself and others, saying he's a real bad man in a real life, to the point where him forgets him is actually intelligent and he can be eloquent and intellectual when he's speaking. So now, when that is required for him to do in an interview, we get to see him. Yeah, man, that's the vibes. You know what I say? Yeah, that's a. Yeah, that man, that. And you're like, what?
The thing is, you know, me, Jay, Cartel did sing a song one time where I said, when I run up and down, and I look up in there one another. See? Cartoons. This is what happened to Alkaline. Intelligent and all of that. But the problem we face now is the fact that Cartel is out. Remember say we have one heap of mouth when Cartel were incarcerated in it.
Yeah, remember I did say did I make fun of him one time? The picture did get released of his current condition when he did a fight the Graves disease, and him eye them did pulp out and him thing look away. Yeah, Alkaline did I make fun of him. I did something on that and I said, yo, sickness is for everybody. So me not rejoice whether I'm an enemy or not. When time I see somebody I go through them issues like that, you know, cause it can happen to me tomorrow. Yeah.
So right there, so the man nervous.
I'm nervous.
So the man said, Cliff Hughes asked him, why you stay away from Jamaica? Oh, the flying man, you just don't see me. Car tint up.
Yeah, the car tint up, and I say, no, I'm going to see me, but me there. There, man, me in the place.
So I'm like, yo, all of them something they are forward because the man timid. He can't live up to the hype.
Me not think him can't live up to the hype, bro. I think he make a wrong turn. Listen, I wish nothing but good for him, right? I'm not gonna be one of them where use my mouth and tear down my own kind. Because I cannot have no beef. I just think, and I'm not one of the people. I always say this, I'm not one of the people who feel like, say, in order to be a vibes cartel, like me like cartel, like me have to tear down Alkaline. Constructive criticism doesn't have to hurt. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to hurt him, but get constructive criticism. The best songs you ever did were girl songs. I ask you because I remember 2016, me and Shakira out the road 2016 and beyond. And them song they did a hit hard. We were doing clubs and venues then. Them song they did a hit hard. Hasn't been the same for him since. Ever since he switched to the gunman, badman image and thing, the thing went downhill from there, bro. Yeah, and it's like he's trying to convince himself that he's that character in real life. I mean, I say, how about you just be a storyteller? You can sing about, you know, gun thing, and you might know some people, and you know, a few man will walk with this and can do that. But you know, have to make everybody feel like said this is you, and the persona you're gone so deep into the character that you can't come back out, kind of thing. That's what I feel like happened to him. I feel like him gone so deep into the bad man character that him can't come back out of it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Come back out of the bad man character, man, and come make some nice songs.
Cliff Hughes probably I said, what the hell is this?
You saw it on Cliff Hughes' face, bro. Missy one at a time, Cliff Hughes said, what? Well, like when Cliff Hughes asked him about the eye and tattoo the eyeball. And him said, yeah. And him said, yeah, come just want people for us. You know what I mean? I said, see. Sit looking at my eye and see. And him said, see what? Me can't look in your eye and see. What am I supposed to see looking into, you know, two black eyeball or you tattoo up your eyeball or something? And he was like, yeah, come on, want people for us. You know, like, look for me and just say, I want to see us.
All him have to say was that the time was, you know.
I was trying to break into the business.
Yeah.
I when him talk about him father, like how did you grow up? You know, him yeah. Like, please get past the part because the part they're too good. And I don't want to be seen as more and the people them feel like I come from around a zinc fence community where gunshot tear through zinc fence regular. I didn't have a father there. I'm a mommy alone I do it. You know what I mean? I said me and my siblings them and share for butter for make life good for we. So when Cliff Hughes was asking in pieces like pulling it out. So how you grow up? How were you brought up? Like, you know, who raised you? Who did you live with? And him say, yeah, I'm real good. Yeah, all right. Yeah, everything good. He must say, like, who raised you? Like, who did you live with? Him say, your mother. Him say, and Cliff Hughes say mother name. And then he said, yeah, nobody else. You know, like he didn't live with anybody else. And he must say, the boy never say him father. And Cliff Hughes have to say, and your father, and him say, yeah, man, yeah. I'm like, is it not proud to say, listen, I went to a good school. I come from a good family. I was raised with my mom and my dad in the house. So I'm one of the kids that had both parents at home. You know, I have my two sisters them as well. And education was at the top of the charts for my mom. She didn't care about music or anything else. Like, Alkaline can talk exactly how you hear me talking, you know.
Yeah,
so watching the interview and hearing him talk like that was annoyed me the whole friggin' way. But me watch the whole interview though. John, well, wish him all the best same way though, don't it?
Of course, we have to wish him the best.
All right.
Still young, still good.
All right. He's not so young again, you know. I'm 31 years old, so a big man that now, but I'm still young and growing for sure. I could be his big brother, I couldn't be him daddy. See?
Yeah, but you know, believe in a craft as insecurities step on him.
Let me take a next phone call there, bro.
Yeah, man.
All right, Manners.
Yeah.
Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
Hey, Flo, how you doing?
I'm good, bro. What? Yeah, fix up that phone there.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So everything good?
Yeah, man, everything good. I can't complain. We're there to talk about the Alkaline interview and giving our critique. You know, we don't want to disrespect the youth or tear him down or nothing like that. But, you know, we saw things that could have been done better, way better.
Yeah, well, I'm not surprised because I've been studying for years. And that's one of his weaknesses. That's why I don't do interviews.
One of his weaknesses, interviews, that's why I'm not doing them?
Yeah.
Ah.
And, you know, now that now that this one happened, if a lot of people go back and watch his interviews now, they're going to start see that he had these problems years ago. You will see Miss Pearl Williams getting frustrated, asking him questions and he's not answering them, stressing out with her upon the interview.
But he said that is actually his style.
Could they spin out and win for a chair like in the Disney World?
He just spin out the chair. That if the man said that time style, you know, like don't give them too much and you know remain mysterious and these kind of things. The fans want to know, because at this point, you know, you're up on a different level now. So the fans them want to know, especially your international fans. They want to know more about your background, you know what I'm saying, all these things. How can I tell nothing? What's next in the works? Nothing.
What did you understand when a next man asked you a next man and asked what turns you on? You didn't hear Cliff Hughes ask him what turns you on?
Yeah, I think him there gonna say why for that, but he didn't. When him said what turns you on, I said, Mr. Hughes, you gone too far, bro. Yeah, if we fix up that language there. And you know what's funny? If that was a Vibes Cartel, right? Or if that was a Idonia even, or if that was any one of the other one them, Busy, would have been like, yeah, we could fix up a part about what turns me on kind of thing. You know, a woman alone turned me on and them something there, but I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, he hasn't.
Even but Jerome, you know, you never say Cliff Hughes the nervous to do the interview.
Well, I mean,
like he might get too hard ears or something.
Yeah, but remember said they're rehearsing and they tell Cliff Hughes what question not to answer.
Somebody I try to stick to the script.
But how do you give someone your own multiple choice question and answer? And when they're given to you, you can't even answer them.
Ross.
But as I say, I say I'm always fair. Even the last interview I'm doing with Tim Weststick, you know, from England.
From the UK. I saw the UK interview. That was painful to watch, bro. It is short. No, he did the recent one he did with a female. That that was painful to watch too, because it's not so much of nothing in an interview neither. That's why I said if you're gonna go to Jamaica and do your first interview in 10 years, please talk. That's all I'm saying now. Please talk.
He tried to talk in that UK one and he said that in start going on his own style and start doing own thing. So it was like admitting that it used to teach for weird some other people's style. But even the UK one before that, he was given a lot of questions and he just didn't know to answer them.
Rotten.
I remember when people asked him about Jamaica, and he said, "Oh no, we see it. Oh no, we so man. Oh no, we so sick." Like you know, you're telling international people and ask about all your album and you know why you have perform and all these things. So I just guess that's how we always reply to people. So I don't know what happened.
No, Jerome, I feel like God know me feel like say him because I was studying remember I know me used to do dancehall music reviews. And back in the day I said Alkaline is super talented, however, I like him writing style and stuff, and plus it was very reminiscent of Cartel. And Cartel did miss him from the scene. But I also said he never know how to perform on the stage, the voice projection, as well as using up the stage and everything. Him stand up in a one place like him nervous, Ray. Now, time has moved forward. He has improved that part of his craft, right? But what we are seeing is where Alka now it's like him I try convince everybody say him just anti-social and gunman, bad man, something, a theme, something. So me not to talk to people too much, you know what I mean? I say not even interview me not like the dog. kind of thing. And I don't know if that's a part of the mysticism of how him plan to build him brand, and that's going to be a part of him as an artist. But that just looked to me like you can't come off of the bad man thing now, brother, because it's not working. It's not working. When last Alka put out a good song where lasts anytime.
No, I'm stuck in China. I think Alka stopped doing music from 2016. Him still a do music?
You saw what I said though. Him still a drop. Him drop every now and then.
This is what we can do because the most delusional fans are the Vendetta fans. We see them every day. All I have to say to them, we can show them a lifeline. Just like how Alka did this by Cartel when he was sick. We all know that Alkaline have sickle cell. And if you research what sickle cell does to the brain cells.
Who have sickle cell?
Alkaline.
Where you getting that from?
I mean, it's been scouting around from ever since for the last 10 years.
Me never hear about that before.
Yeah, man.
So you can't laugh after a man will have Graves' disease if you have sickle cell.
Maybe that's why I'm always the wear long sleeves when I'm all performing in Florida.
No, sir. Remember one time them asked him back in the day, and the rumors was going around about the sickle cell, and he said him only skinny like that because he's taking a lot of flights because his career took off and he's busy flying everywhere. So him not eat properly like he's supposed to. Because if you look on him now, him gain weight now. See? So I'm comfortable now. So I'm not going to put out a sickle cell something there. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I don't think he has no sickle cell. Jerome, what are you doing now, bro?
Alright, so what so let me answer something. He was given a question, do you have children and him fall? Do you think it's because he's mixing plural and verbs together and maybe him have one child but not children, or him just a girl?
Him not gonna pick me yet. But I don't see nothing wrong with that. I'm 31.
So say he needs to focus on his future and his wealth before he starts having kids.
Yeah, man. Because in our culture, some backward something we deal with. Breed up the girl them, yeah. A man walk around and talk about 5 youth, me get already in a dog, and him not take care of none of them. So me not encourage them behavior.
So Flo, you're actually saying that you currently you're at your kids gotta be the oldest, gotta be at least 8 years old. Because you're telling Alka where they make whole heap of money to buy cars and show off where he's well financial stable. Not to have any kids as yet?
Yeah, if that's what I feel like, then don't. Me not gonna tell nobody to run down kids because you have money. Cause I know money alone raise kids. You have to have time for the children them. You have to be stable mentally, spiritually balanced. You can't just have kids because me have enough money now, so me are gonna have picnic. They don't know how to treat the damn picnic them, then they start abuse them, then all kind of something happen. So yeah, me not to run down the thing when them a talk about I'm a 31, him should have picnic by now. Nah, sir. Hey, him have time still. Put your thing together properly. That way you are not bringing children into the... And then again, he's also a busy individual, right? You see how them treat Beanie Man, bro?
Wait, the busy when I do like 3 shows a year, when did I go?
But watch though, you see how them treat Beanie Man?
Yeah.
All right. Beanie Man is chasing greatness, right? And Beanie is booked out, flying here, there, and everywhere. And Beanie has been that busy since God know when, till now. Only when them take one visa, and even then, him fly between all these small islands, Caribbean islands, etc. Stay moving around, entertaining, doing shows. You have to out in the road, a billion brand, and all this. And because of that, he's labeled a deadbeat daddy because him not have enough time for him picnic them. And me and you know, say can't go both ways.
A man will do like maybe 4 shows a year. And they drop maybe 7 songs a year. Just a busy flow. I want to forget Peter. Please me something. So you really stand where they do like maybe 5-4 show a year.
But you
Well,
know,
you get that
you're me
question.
saying, I don't know what going on in a man's personal life, but even if he is taking time for himself and not doing nothing, him too busy for a picnic. Because sometimes being busy don't mean you run all over the place, Jerome. Sometimes busy just means me busy attend to me because that's what me day in a life right now. You have some people out here, you know. Them no want no picnic, you know, because them have them good career, them have money in the bank, them just want to enjoy life right now. So them want to fly to the Bahamas on the weekend. Them want to go away every month for a 3-day cruise. Them want do this when them feel like do it and do that when them feel like do it. Me not tell them people that to stop it and go have picnic. Tired of yourself with picnic and picnic responsibility, and then them hate the rotted picnic them. And the poor picnic grow up dysfunctional because their parents never want them. Then they just try live up to a kind of status quo. Then by the time you're a certain age, you must have children. No, sir. Go on and do your life, yeah, man, and lay a foundation first. The day will come where you have time to have the picnic them and you're in a place where you feel like it's perfect timing to have them. And that me believe in us still.
My final word is that you know thinking can cook, so you don't have skillion and it not go have time. So even when you have 40 and 50, you not go have a picnic.
All right, sir. All right, Gerald. Manners. You have to understand, sir, Gerald not too like Alkaline, you know, so if I try to steer the conversation a certain direction where me have to be responsible because I'm me gonna be the one who then buck up in an outer road, right? But bigger than that, I speak what I believe. Me. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
Hi, SouFLo. Good morning.
What family are you doing? Please tell me you're up on topic.
I'm alright. Me did well, yes, sir. Me did well on the one girl and go and see.
Yeah. Alright, sir.
SouFLo.
Yeah.
Let me ask you something.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think that Alkaline is the first.
You think what?
I think he's going through depression.
Why you say that?
Just look, reading body language, man. Read Alkaline body language.
Lord
Stop my body.
But no, easy, you know. You feel so?
Yes, SouFLo, man. Come on, SouFLo. Look good.
No, me never get that from it.
You see the interview that brother do yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
You know, normal SouFLo. It's not normal. You could never get Anthony Miller that interview. That's why I'm talking to you.
It never gave me depression. It gave me trying to pretend to be something that he's not. And that me I talk about. The anti-social bad man, gunman image there, yo, me not to chat to people in a dog kind of thing. Right?
But the person do they talk there too?
Eh?
The person do they talk there too?
Yeah, but I think he said it's an image, and I think it's more of that image, because that image they might try to portray. In 10 ways, that image they might try to portray.
He went on, when he was a little boy, he went on school challenge, and I don't speak when I go on school challenge.
Then that me just said.
Jesus Christ, me I tell myself from the shame like a dog.
But here me I say, that me I say too. Me say, did you see him on school challenge quiz? What is your name? He said, my name is Erlen Bartlett. And I think him say he wants to be a doctor or something, an engineer or something when he grow up, right? And he was so eloquently spoken, well clear and loud and everything. So now when you see him talk down in himself, and me I tell you, you know, me there around them kind of people here, you know, me I tell you, yo dog, not too. Them no use words. Them no use words. Me don't know, you know. And I'm first interviewing at 10 years.
In that 10 years,
and you could have done.
I was listening to Rick Star. I can't call him because I'm not talking about everybody. I listen to Rick Star and he must have found some intelligent people and me tell him and me say me shame on me. Look at the vendetta from shame what they can't talk.
I saw.
That's why I have to love God telling them about my artist. Mr. Erland, why him? Erland Bartlett, but why him? Shame on you.
Why?
You know, you go to high school and get about subject, and you're bright, why you come the people that come on, you should be ashamed of your damn self.
Too many years of pretending, I think he started to believe that that's who he actually is. That
you
part.
Understand? Why manager talk now?
I don't know. I know himself independent, and sister, or himself and his sister do it.
Right? Well,
they're accomplishing great things.
You're manager, you're not managing right. Why are you manager? So you're not market yourself right.
Yeah, the part there are true.
So, any only could I get to see him? Then I'm a Saturday show?
Saturday, I'm sure.
Because I'm near side me, I can't walk, but if me could have seen and say, I want to do to go high school. You go nice and stuff at high school.
Why?
I'm going to give people in the idiot something. People that can make money think of animals. Talk to people right.
Yeah, the man he's trying to be a man of not many words. I can't see. Because even when Cliff Hughes asked him about him say a part where him say, I'm gonna say a name, and when I say the name, I want you to give me the first word that comes to mind. And him say his mother name, and him say support or something like that. Yeah, no, I know the guest part. I know the guest part. When him reach a part where Cliff Hughes call him sister them name, him not use no words. Him say, just put up your fist and go so.
Sure.
So whatever that means, you know.
And the other thing again, so look what you hear it that well. Other platform they go on and listen, you know, we listen to more than my community here. Come on. What up, man?
Yeah, he him nothing there.
Look here, Alkaline. I listen to Alkaline music as a big man.
Left him a message. What is the message from you to him?
Let me tell you something. Message, you know. You are in business to make money. And when people come on your show, you know, put on show for crocodile and elephants and lion. You put it on for people to come and watch and enjoy themselves. Whenever you're going to give an interview, you're going to give the interview for people to listen and digest what they say properly. And Alligator Alcatraz and something there.
All right. Well said.
All right. Nice to know.
All right, family. Yeah, because people understand them something there. Well, I'll put it like this. Him saying I do this independently, right? If he's doing this independently with his team, when him assembled, they're accomplishing great things. You know? They are. However, the media training is needed. The media training is needed because you have to talk to your fans. You gotta talk to the people them. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
SouFLo, my brother.
Morning, bro. What going?
Damn, my brother.
Talk to him.
Nice, core alkaline water. Anyway,
hey.
People, calm down, man. SouFLo, calm down, man.
Hey.
You see what I'm going right at it?
What?
It's eminent buzzing. The man that do like him daddy.
See it. No, if keep get a viral moment, controversy itself.
Right now, him at his arc right now.
See it.
He know exactly what he was doing.
See
the man can pull up ourselves. So why we know?
I saw.
Look at it that way.
Yeah.
That the man that the man knows the show come up. Right now, what better way to boost ticket sales right now that we go do an interview and put me out before the show. A few showing us that a vice cartel are done. Because everything wired, a cartel blueprint.
Except for the part where he can articulate himself in an interview though.
He purposely do that.
That's what I feel.
Yes, so I tell you something, them purposely do it, bro.
Yeah, man, that's what I feel. But you think he purposely do it just for the viral moment, or?
Yes, he do it just for the viral moment.
But how come all I'm interview them same way, so?
You hear him speak before, so.
Yeah, long time ago.
So we know you know.
A long time ago, but I was worried that him been trying to convince himself for so long that him is a gangster and a gunman and who don't really chat to people. You know?
In that lock up, and get free and I want to do the thing them so you need to step over that. You know, if you give up that persona the other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Why?
Yo, I feel how we're reflecting and going on that. I strongly agree with that.
What up?
We're going to put them through the performance.
You saw what I said?
Yeah.
So yesterday I said
right now. Wait, before you say just think of weird dance.
Your phone sound muffled, man. Nobody not hear it. That's why I'm
may have up on speaker, sorry.
Bro, unruly, man.
Yeah, man, you know my thing come down more time. Anyway.
Say
it. Anyway, yo, I want to go to my last McKay.
Yeah, I did say yesterday, I think we will live to see the two of them work together.
Yes. So, this how weird dance art is right. We just get the great Bujo, Vibes Cartel, and Movado in a one space.
You know, Movado, Alka.
And see, Cartel steady bring out Massacre and a hype Massacre. See, you know, Popcorn a film boy already for a long time. You know, we see the link. Yesterday even I think yesterday this morning we see a link with even Sean Storm and Massacre with some music.
Right.
That's
no, Massacre did I say Sean Storm did I say a long time.
With all what's going on right now, that is the only missing thing from dancehall right now.
What?
A Vibes Cartel and Alkaline shout out each other on a positive vibes, which leads to a track.
I'm thinking
the only thing missing. I don't think we have to see. We might not see it this year, but we have to see it in the near future.
In the near future, yeah. I feel so. That me say yesterday. Yeah.
We have to see it. We might not see it right now. You know what I mean? But we'll see. You know. Probably next year, them time now, you say John was started at the Cartel and Alkaline, the hot. See summer, it's a contact is summer. Believe.
Yeah. I agree.
I agree. Better questions.
All right. Manners. All right. So, we're not going to do too much more of the Alka thing. We're going to move on to our other topics. Because my baby, they're on my foot right now. And we only have not too much longer left. So, let's end the Alka thing by saying this. See, me never wait. That's why I'm glad I'm not a bandwagonist. If you go back and watch videos I've done in previous times, I actually said one time me and wifey saying we're doing thing like, you know, when two big people clothes come up and they might get to it. And we had a mix CD from Jamaica. And the mix CD did a play. And the mix CD had all Alkaline songs on it. Me never stopped. She never stopped. And we never changed the CD or changed to something else. We figure out the whole CD until it's done. And when it start over again, I start laughing and I say, Bill, you know, say I want Alkaline CD. We just ride to the whole CD through. So I've said this to my audience before. I've never been in a party where I heard his music come on and I just walk out or I stop dance or say, I don't want to hear that. I go wait till me hear my favorite artist music. You know what I mean? The criticism comes with the territory. Dancehall space is a very competitive space, and a space too where you're criticized a lot, especially if you are aiming to make it into the league of the great ones. Nobody is above criticism, right? So we give criticism, but we're not trying to hurt a man by just disrespect, because we're not one of those types of fans where, oh, me like Cartel so much that me can't like an Alkaline tune. I me like Cartel so much that me can't. I'm not one of those guys. I'm the guy, and enough of them. When I used to say this back in the day, them used to call me sellout. They say sellout, like, yeah, they used to call me sellout and all kind of something when I said this, but I still stand on it, right? So when we give our criticism, it's not from a place of, oh, me only like this artist, or something I like you, so this is my opportunity to say bad things about you. We know that them the kind of controversy sells, because apparently the space is also toxic, and this is what people love to hear. You know, so who a fight who a, all that. Plain and simple, the interview could have been better. The interview could have been better. People want to hear what's happening with you as an artist. You're doing well for yourself. You could have spoken up more. All that, yeah. That one. That's that. That's that. And we knowing how intelligent you are. Hold on there. We knowing how intelligent you are, because we seen you from your little youth till now. We wonder which part the intelligence gone. Because you have some man out there who really intelligent, very eloquent when them speak, and them are the biggest gunman too. So me I try to make you know so you can balance the two. You know, if you act like, I'm not really talk to people still, you know, dog. You don't have seven dream, anti-social, you know, my brother. Yeah, anything you say, that kind of stuff. Like, we don't like it. We don't like it. As fans, we don't like it. We want to see you do an interview where you sound eloquent. They say that you are still imitating Vybz Kartel. I don't think you are in that manner, because if you were, you would have made sure that your interview was eloquent as well. And you weren't able to pull that one off for whatever reasons, whether it's because you did look a viral moment and it was something to talk about, or you're just stuck in another character that you've created. My last piece of advice is this. Your biggest songs that you've done were girl songs. Go and go check yourself. Just check your numbers. Your girl song them are your biggest song them. If it ain't broken, don't fix it. The girl them like you. A tall man like myself. Go back to the girl song them. Again. And one more thing. Wifey said yesterday, she don't think you're in Jamaica enough. There's something about Jamaica and our artists. And when we artists them leave and left for too long, them lose the flavor. And then the world start picking up that you've lost the flavor. So you always have to come back to the source, to the rock. I don't know, maybe you need to go a couple of them dance the way I keep out a road, or maybe you need to tune in more to the culture. You know, more curry and rice and peas or something. I don't know what you need to do. But you need to get back in touch with what it was. Or maybe the people who were producing for you before, or something like that. But get back in touch with whatever that was. Frost and them, man, I don't know. And get back to where you were before. And then we'll see that. But big up yourself same way. Right? And he's definitely a youth where aiming for greatness. And I never stand in the way of a youth aiming for greatness, not by criticism or any other way. One thing I will say is Massacre have it locked in a certain kind of way now. And you can no longer say he is not on your level. And you know, talk to little people down there. So really and truly, and that's your competition there. If there is a competition, yeah, it's a Massacre. But me not think dancehall is ready for that. I'm definitely ready for that. But me don't know if you're ready for that. Massacre fire upon all cylinders right now. Fully loaded. I don't know if you're ready for that. But that's the competition that bring out the greatness. Right? So step back into the ring, Alka. And get it popping again. That's all I'm saying. Right? Jerome said, flow, that will never happen. Border Cat voice. It will happen again. Cartel care too much about his fans. He will not do it. I don't know about all that. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
SouFLo, I don't know if I agree with that last point there. No?
What?
There must be kind of competition.
If there should be a competition, it would have been right. That's all. Where should I do?
Well, yeah. To be fair, I think Alkaline is more internationally acclaimed compared to Massacre still, but we kind of understand in terms of the popcorn Massacre bracket.
I don't know about all that, bro. I don't know about all that.
The internationally acclaimed artists.
Yeah, I don't know about all that.
I think you're more recognized internationally, you know.
Who? Alkaline. Oh, a Massacre? No.
Yeah,
no. One time gone, you could have said that. One time gone, you could have said that. Not again.
No, but I think you have that little bit of edge there still.
No.
Massacre catch up, you know.
How long we are gonna do that though? How long we are gonna do that though? Every time.
Well, listen, guess what me try to do? Or what I don't try to do is put expectation on artists. You get me? I say?
Yeah,
a lot of the times we see artists have a good run in a dancehall, right? But we don't know the mindset of these respective artists in terms of what they want out of the music. You see me? So when you look on a man like Alkaline, him start music when him about say early 20, right? And him about 31 now. So maybe him feel as if him
Massacre you say start music in our early 20s.
No, Alkaline. I'm saying Alkaline feel as if maybe him accomplish.
No man, you're Alkaline. I tell you in our music from there ardent. And that's why when them talk about music, them talk about education, when him step in a day, like when him finally start go studio, make song and them thing there.
Yeah, like when you actually get the bus now, you get me? I say when you roll controversy and in the early 20s, that's it, right? So I'm saying maybe him feel as if him accomplish everything we want to accomplish. But I don't think I'm calling pastor. What more try to say is right. And it's not on an Alkaline thing. I think the dancehall artists they need to understand, say, it's not really about you to an extent. It's more so about the fans, bro. The fans build you and then can break you. You get me? I say? And I'm not saying, you know, you can't protect your energy and you can't create the image and the character where you want. You get me? I say? To express yourself in terms of your music and how you write the music, right?
Right.
But when you come on to these interviews, you know, fans see them for years and months and stuff, and they want to know.
Because it's their only way. Right. That me that said before.
Even a question where Cliff Hughes asked him, what do you do when you're not on the stage or whatever the case is, right? And he said, I'm just chilling.
Yeah.
To me, it's just a disrespect to the fans in a sense. Like, people want at least hear say, you know, so we play look for FIFA though, or, you know, so I'm not performer, I'm not in a studio, you know, say, my jog or them type of thing, then I go gym 10 o'clock in the morning, you get me?
Right. Personalize it to your fans, them. Make them feel like you're a real person and you do some of the things with them do and them kind of something there. He was so vague with it.
And, you know, people, I kind of ask the question, is it a planting or whatever? But even if him planning, it's a poor execution in terms of how him answer the question. Because at one point in the time, I didn't tell him, and if my confusing, I'm just, I mean, through the live stream, you can't just get up and cut, you know, but it's just frustrating when every time I ask him a question, it's like you have to dig deep up, like try to get an answer from him, like something that has substance, you know, where people can work with, isn't it?
Right. And then him get a,
yeah, so this nonchalant thing, it doesn't work, you know. Nobody's trying to attack Alkaline or anything or use anything against him if he says something public, isn't it? So I just think it was a poor interview, and you have a lot of people defending it. I'm just thinking the people even try to defend it either, to be honest, isn't it?
Yeah, remember I know though, bro. You always have people who are ready to encourage you when you have the foolishness, you know. You have to remember that.
I just saw someone staying so far.
Yeah.
Darkness, someone.
Yeah, you will always have people ready to encourage you when you have the foolishness, you know. This is what I really think to me. You will hear Jamaicans, they will kill you online. Hey boy, me shot you in your face and bust out your back and ray. If an argument over them favorite artists, right? And then the artist drops an album, and then I go and check the numbers. And the man sell 125 copies in a 1 month. But there are thousands of them online who will tell you about up under your mother and how them will do you this for the artist. So how the artist them sell 125 copy in a 1 month?
They know about the album then.
Alright then.
And you know the funny thing is, a lot of these individuals, them rather support artists outside of the country in terms of buying them album and them thing that rather than the dancehall artists themselves. And I think it's just I don't know if it's a Jamaican thing or a black people thing, where it can even extend to America. It's the Americans buy the album, to be fair, is what I say. So I don't know if it's a Jamaican thing where we don't really buy into things financially. We will buy into things in terms of how we express yourself about an artist. Yeah, but this thing, every album shot, but we're not really buy it in some sense. Is what I say.
No man, it's a bad man thing, man.
Yeah. So
it's a bad man thing.
It's a good artist still, but he need to, I guess you can say, rediscover himself in a sense. The recent song them, you can definitely see the change in terms of him getting older, and it's more like positive songs in a sense, motivation. But at the end of the day, I'm sure that if you want to be regarded as a legend in dancer, which to some extent I guess he could regard himself as that, but
no, not yet. He's not reached legendary status yet, but he's definitely on his way.
But as I said, to some extent, he's one of those young ones where you can say, other than the Vibes Cartel, the Beenie Man, if you look on like the younger generation, after Cartel, them, right?
Yeah,
he's definitely up there with the Popcorn in specific and the Massacre. Is what I say?
Yeah, for sure,
And what I will say is that no dancehall artist after Cartel has ever transcended the genre to newer heights. You get me? I say. I think Vibes Cartel like transcend it and in come after Beenie and Bounty.
What you mean transcend the genre to new? What you mean, lesser to new heights?
I don't feel like they've added to dancehall. So it's like you have 80s dancehall and then you have the one that come to the 90s and then the early 2000s and then build it to a global level, right? Dancehall before Alkaline was always regarded on the global stage, right? But when we say build now, you see like how Afrobeats found in the place, and Afrobeats have a different type of respect compared to dancehall in terms of how people outside of Jamaica recognize it, right? And even in the USA, yes, me I say?
Yeah.
So when I look at dancehall, when you look at Vibes Cartel, he's one of the stars, the Buju Banton, them and the the Shaggy and the Sean Paul and all these different type of people. Them have that type of respect there, yes, me I say, across various continents, etc. Right. Whereas Popcorn and Alkaline and Massacre, them don't have it, but I don't feel as if them add a lot to it. Isn't I say?
Right.
I feel dancehall has a lot more to give to the world in terms of that respect. Same thing with when Grammy time come around, people always say, yo, them really respect dancehall and them type of thing, that the awards with them dish out to dancehall and how they recognize it and the respect and them type of thing there, isn't it? So I think them come and them do them thing, but I think them really transcend it to a higher height. It's just like football, for example, or track and field.
Yeah, but me not understand what you mean. You mean like they never invent no new style, or they never carry it go somewhere where it never got before, or what you mean by transcend to new height? What that mean?
Alright, for example, right? SouFLoTV Usain Bolt. SouFLoTV is regarded widely as the something like say, you see me? Always 10 seconds more and do type of thing, right? He was the fastest man in the world at one point, but he never had that star recognition like when I Usain Bolt come and broke the record and all that type of thing, then I set different record. You get me? I say?
Yeah,
so
yeah, because if you put it in that context, then Usain did things that SouFLoTV never did.
Yes, that mean I said. So I'm not saying that they expect Popcorn and Alkaline to do things where Cartel them never do, but at least do things where people can say, yo, no man, the man push dancehall to a different level. You see what I say?
You can't do that without do something where nobody else never do though. You can't, which means it'll be something that nobody else ever did. And that's, I think that's what Alkaline did try to do with the black tattoo me eyeball type of something. And
but look at this. And I think the evidence is there in the sense that, okay, as we said, we don't feel like them doing enough, right? Just let me give an example. When Cartel come out, everybody around the interview, you saw the man start mad up the tour them women go and sell out the arena them and all these type of stuff.
Everybody
now, I'm not saying that dancehall artists never sell out arena before, you see me I say?
Right.
But it's not to the extent that we've seen with Vibes Cartel, and people kind of want to discredit it and say, oh, because he got prison. Let's be honest, SouFLo. The man was at the top of the game and he got prison. If Cartel did have an American visa by then, the man would have still sell out stadium if he start tour, you see me I say?
Yeah. We're not going to go into that conversation because it all got to somewhere else. Cartel get him wing them clip right when he was about to take off. We all know that. And what we have seen now, it would have actually happened earlier. You're right. It had not. But the genius in all this though is that he was able to recover after 13 years in prison and come back even greater. So that in itself, you know, is like
also in prison.
Right. That. You know,
and when they really struggle to find it.
Bro, listen to me right now. So you see this song where him say, all in a prison, me I make millions, me I talk about US dollar, nigga. Me sell it gold, me sell it silver, right? When him said that, it's not just a line in a song. Now we know that it's actually true. It's something that was said that most people overlook because they're like, yeah, him life good and all that, and yeah, him get paid for perform and all that, but it can't be that great. But we're now privy to the information that Ross, it actually is that great. Like, him really did get them plaques while he was in prison, selling gold and silver, and not only that, he was making the money in millions, and it wasn't Jamaican millions.
I remember King of Dancehall was in prison, you know.
Yes.
And he made how much millions after that, you know.
Yes.
So again, the evidence is there, but my last point before we leave is that them need to stop living in a cartel shadow in the sense that, listen, you look away when your first interview is now after cartel get released. As I said,
right.
Look away.
And you had all these years to do it and you never do one.
Because every other artist give interview, the Popcorn, them, the Valiant, them, the Tommy, all them, man, they can look and them have a lot of recent interviews to check. It might not be like a sit down interview, but them out there, they might express themselves and people know them.
Right.
Them know it, so people hear from them, isn't it?
Right.
But when you in specific I come out after 10 years basically and having your first interview, when we know said rules you keep up years ago, isn't it? I mean, never seen an interview.
I never do no interview.
So what changed now in terms of you giving an interview?
I think this are like the third new rules in Jamaica, isn't it? And he never gave an interview for any of them. Yeah. So yeah. You're right.
And even the one them overseas, we're not seeing an interview. So what changed now?
Right.
That's keeping in Jamaica.
Right. Cartel out.
So, well, nothing, but big up yourself still.
All right, manners. King Big said him actually when them man they are cut dub and them alone cut it in the studio. You like reason with the artists them when them cut the dub. But him not do no reasoning. Antisocial. All right. King Big saying every show Cartel will get better, which is factual. Which is true. As the last show I saw was the St. Kitts show, full of energy and vibes. Yeah. So yeah. But Cartel said to him, saying his health is getting better. And he might run on the treadmill even longer now. So I'm stamina up now. All these things, which is a good look. All right, here what we're gonna leave the alkaline thing alone, yes sir, and we're gonna move on to we have a couple of other things to run through quickly. Alligator Alcatraz is a detention center in Florida that houses 5,000. Well, it has 5,000 beds in it, and they've built this detention center for immigrants or migrants who ICE will be picking up. This detention center is built out in the middle of the Everglades. Well, the updated information to that is that Alligator Alcatraz is now open. I say this because we are a Caribbean community over here. We're in that diaspora, right? Or we cater to that diaspora. So even by extension, if we not get to go in there, our paperwork straight, we're going to have family members, friends, or associates, or people from the community who will end up in Alligator Alcatraz. It is dubbed Alligator Alcatraz because there are nothing but alligators out there in those swamps where they have chosen to put this detention center. I've seen the videos now of what it looks like. I was concerned before about mosquito for the people them, but me think say I want building or actually tented in where mosquito couldn't get through. they actually have the people in cages. So it's some big cage. And the big cage them, of course, mosquitoes out in the middle of the swamp. Whole heap of mosquito out there. There will be no problem for mosquito yamming them out there in the middle of the swamp. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
Rising SouFLo.
Grand Rising family. Ah, welcome. Talk to it now.
I just have a question.
Uh-huh.
So, like, what's the plan forward for all people? Like people, skin folk or after skin folk? Because, like, everywhere you turn, no matter where, whether it's the Caribbean, in the Americas, in Europe, we're only like reacting to what is being done to us. But like, what is the plan forward collectively, like, how we can come together as a community to strive forward? Because if we don't have a plan forward, we're just gonna keep reacting. And in the 90s, they were reacting. In the early 2000s, they were reacting. Now in 2025, we're still reacting. So,
what's the plan for who?
Forward?
The plan forward for who?
Like our people,
who is our people?
Like people who want better for themselves and their family and don't want to be on a system with a benefit them to a certain extent.
Well, me out here I get better for myself and my family, and me not go through too much stress and strain or nothing. So
yeah, but that's a solar perspective like that. So you know black excellence, right?
I want you to, because I'm trying to pull it out of you, like when you say my people are our people, who you are talking about, which people you are talking about.
The black race overall and the betterment of the black people.
Okay,
so
I thought you were talking about the community.
So
I thought you were talking, it could be the Caribbean community, it could be the Jamaican community, it could be the black people globally on a whole. Which when you say my people, what you are talking about?
Oh, globally, the black people are a whole, because so if you, as a premise, say if you're black, you're white, right? And if you're white, you're black. So people who are of other skin tones and colors who represent for the black race, you're considered black, and it's just the same as my brother or my sister, right? So I'm talking about those people, because those are normally the people who are oppressed in a certain extent. And all these global things that's going on all over the world is like, we're just reacting. Okay, so them do this, we are reacting. All right, them do that tomorrow, we are reacting. Like, what a global plan for all people. Like, I don't really see any navigation towards like betterment for our people. I just see reactive methods. And one person can make some money and build some things over there, so but if it's only benefit himself, I wanna have like strategic like plans and systems in place for our people, then we're just reacting. Like you have a your topic you just started was about the Caribbean diaspora people and how it affects them towards the new place for them set up, the Alcatraz place for them set up, right?
Yeah.
But we don't have a plan forward like as a nation. Like, all right, let's talk about the Caribbean people.
Okay, hold on. Let me nip that in the bud for you. First of all, we don't have the unity that is required to be talking about our people. Let me say that again. We do not have the unity that is required to be talking about our people and a plan to move forward. If you look at the military functions because there is unison and they move on one accord. The playbook is the same across the board. So if you're talking about like that, then that's too big of a question for us to even try to answer on this platform, because the unity is not there, right? So I have this thing that I live by, and that thing is I don't try to worry about things that are way outside of my control. Something like that is way outside of my control, so I'm not even would worry about it. That way.
I understand that.
Yeah, that's there's nothing you can do about that. There's nothing me and you alone can do about that. We do not have the unity that is required to talk about a plan to move forward as a people. Neither as Jamaicans as a whole, nor as a unified Caribbean movement, nor as worse even globally as black people. we don't have that type of unity. So it's not even a piece that should be on the table. Let's talk about how we're going to get the unity first. And then once that unity is achieved, which ain't going to come overnight, then we can talk about plans to move forward as a people.
So I guess the better question is how we can develop unity among our people to actually get to a plan for all.
That's a better question. How can we develop unity among us so that we can get to that place where we can have a unified plan to move forward? And then that is simple and it's hard to do. It's simple and it's hard to do.
You think it would take us, what, 10 years to develop the conversation regarding the same unity?
You're talking on a global scale, you know.
Well, it was just among our people first, because then we have to live by example, right? If one nation does it, then it might spark, right? You know, among others to follow through.
Yeah, but you're talking globally, aren't you?
Yeah, but first, what it's like you don't try to conquer the world by going at the entire world. You conquer small portions and then you develop your way across your start.
Yeah, but you said if you're not okay, so you lose me again.
No, I was speaking directly towards unity because the conversation changed instead of the global.
But you said first it would have to be done among us or people first.
Yeah, like small pockets. Like we have to start
so
the
small
conversation among our people, small pockets. Like, you know, country to country and then try to build the confidence among others discreetly. I mean, we shouldn't even be having this conversation here, but how else am I going to say this stuff so that it can spark the thought in others? You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I understand what you're trying to say, but nobody no depend that. Nobody no depend. I'm starting to say it, nobody no depend that.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, at least we put it right here, the open streets right in.
True.
And that's the point, right?
Yeah, true that.
So, I know you have said this.
All right, my family.
You look yourself.
Manners and respect, yes.
I love the program, yeah?
All right, and don't forget to know, it starts with one, though. So, while you are work on you, and me are work on me, and then before you know it, we attract our tribe, and that get bigger and bigger. That's why I say me first. See
exactly.
It? All right.
Respect, bro.
One love.
One love.
Yeah, that's a grand idea, but that's like throwing a little tiny rock out in the ocean kind of thing. Yeah. Wishing for all to be well on the face of the earth. Until we come together as one, we will forever be a people in turmoil. It is written. And Karen Notice says, that's Kaz Robinson said that. Karen said, morning, SouFLo and family, up, 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 blessings to everyone. Beast Boy, big up yourself. Kaz says, 400 years and we are still a people on the bottom of the pile. Well, I'm more than 400 years now, because I'm here 400 years from my born till now. So it's more than 400 years now, but I get what you're saying. And yes, now, okay, back to one thing that Alkaline said yesterday. Cliff Hughes asked, I'm done with the Alkaline part, and I talk about Alligator Alcatraz opening, but the sister Carleen asked about this. Yesterday, Cliff Hughes asked Alkaline about Jamaica politics. Him asked him, what you think about Donald Trump? Him say, mad thing, mad thing. You asked him, what you think about Andrew Holness? Him say, mad thing, mad thing. What you think about Mark Golding? Mad thing, mad thing. Everybody a mad thing. In other words, the brother did say, me not in your politics. See? Okay, so what do you think about the state of Jamaica? And he said, Jamaica, nice one. Jamaica, the place. Because if you notice, everybody want to come here. The only thing is, us Jamaicans, we need to fix up ourselves. What do you mean we need to fix up ourselves? Are you saying? Him said, no, we need to change the way how we look on each other, the way we see each other, and the way we treat each other. You know what I'm saying? How we solve our problems we have among each other, our grievances, etc. Those were friggin' wise words. That's why I say Alkaline have so much to say because I know the youth intelligent. Him just piss me off with that acting like him can't be eloquent kind of something there when he could. And if him step out like that, him could have lead a whole new generation of youth on some smart something. But out the politics part. When the sister just asks, that's the answer right there. We have to start watch how we talk to each other, how we treat each other, how we view each other. That's first. And once we start doing that and learn to solve our internal problems without violence, you know, with love as the leader of that, then we'll start to be, then the rest of the world will start to, don't forget it. Every community that you see that is respected by others, they are respected by others because of how they treat their own. Let me say it to you one more time. Every community you see out here that is respected by others is respected by others, not because of how them treat other people. Because I see them frig up other people and them still respect them. They're respected because of how they treat their own. Right. So until we reach that, so we don't have no conversation and talk about global plans and unification globally and all these things and other people and all that. We ain't going to get there. I know I've been having not a good morning, but it's all love still, says Karen Notice. Ibrahim Traore is pushing that conversation, says Patricia Jackson. Well, he's pushing that conversation. That's true. Ibrahim Traore is one person, and in one little part of Earth. We are everywhere. So let's see how many more will follow suit. Right? Right. Now, the Alligator Alcatraz wasn't something for us to stay on. I did a video telling you about more in depth about what it is, how big it is, how many people it's supposed to be holding. They went and showed the videos. The people are going to be held out in the Everglades in Florida. The Everglades is out in the swamps, out in the woods. There's some big mosquitoes out there that them big like my shoes. And there are crocodiles everywhere. I mean, alligators everywhere, and snakes and other forms of wildlife, some of which is poisonous. So that's what ICE has come to in this part of Florida. So if you're missing a family member, friend, or whoever who's getting held, they have 5,000 beds that they have to fill out in the middle of the swamp. That's probably where they're going to be out there. All right. So Alligator Alcatraz is fully up and running now. And on the first day it opened, it rained like crazy because we're in rainy season now in Florida, and it flooded out. And this is where them plan to put the people in. And it flooded out the first day it opened. The construction of a place like Alligator Alcatraz is pure wickedness. They don't treat animals like this, so why would they do it to humans? Audrey, and with that said, did you hear the governor joking when they asked him about security measures? He laughed and he said, well, you know, nobody can escape from here. And if they do try, well, they'll have to fight with the alligators and the snakes. And you know how that goes. Right. So there are people who are actually cheering them on, like, that is brilliant. You know, what better way to use your environment to your advantage? Put them in the middle of snake infested, alligator infested. You don't have to worry about security, and that is saving money. So you don't have to pay salaries to security guards. On the other hand, we can't help but remember, cue the tape, John. We go boat, put Donald Trump. Everybody louder, louder. I can hear you. We go boat, put Donald Trump. Yeah, we that's where we're at. But that them again. And not only them, all the Jamaican them that voted for it too, your people gonna be out there too. TPS just expired for the Haitians. Haitians for Trump. Y'all gonna be out there too. They have 5,000 beds to fill. One thing I know for sure, they're not building that place. Put 5,000 beds in there and nobody is going there. So wait and see, right? Yes, Kaz, we got popcorn on deck. I'm reclining the chair and we about to watch this episode because here, I don't know what episode we're on now, but I'm about to watch this episode and see all the craziness that's about to happen. We gon' vote for Donald Trump. Everybody, louder, louder. I can't hear you. We gon' vote for Donald Trump. Hey, yeah. I saw one. They had a remix to that song on a boat, and they are the same people who do the remix. They took a yacht out to sea. I forgot how the remix goes. Even my daughter is walking around the house now singing, "We gon' vote for Donald Trump." Milani. If I was still a Christian, I would be feeling like Hebrews on Passover with the lamb's blood over my door. Mommy, what's that song you were singing? That we gon' vote? We gon' vote for Donald Trump.
Yes.
You was come here, mommy. Come say hi. Say hi, everybody.
Hi.
All right, so Daddy Princess here. Daddy Princess, she walk around the house now singing. Yesterday she was all day. I'm like, are you gonna stop? We don't know where she get it from. She's like, we gonna vote for Donald Trump. Oh my God, I love you. All right, go on. Daddy soon come.
Very good. Mom, when's my mom gonna come back?
Mommy should be back soon, but I'm gonna be finished soon too. And then we're gonna go do some things, okay?
I'm hungry.
You hungry? Okay. I have to get up because Milani is hungry, everybody. So with that said, we'll leave all the rest of what was going to be talked about this morning for another video. All right? Okay, Princess. I got you. All right. Watch this. It suddenly ends here. Manners and respect to each and every one of you tuning in. I appreciate you greatly. Wifey is not home right now, and the picture them was right in front of me right here all along. But now that them I say them hungry, me have to go tend to them needs. All right? I'll see you later. Walk good. Like my granny Miss Ruby said, be careful. She said, be good. If you can't be good, be careful. And like my grandfather Mas Cleavy said, I will see you tomorrow if God spare my life. I'm out. Peace.